5,000 words ain't enough to define a body of, yeah. Caught her look and she wants it back. She's firing up that body of, yeah, babe. You think that I want you, but nah, babe. You're one in a million, but it's not for me. I'm not into girls with a plastic trace. Don't take it too personally, yeah.
Hello and welcome to... Here we go. Oh, we're all over the place. Hello and welcome to the final round of the Sprint Series here at Kyalami for Split Yellow and Split Green. I am Alex Bowen, and joining me in the comments box is Jamie Conboy and David McNulty. How are we, gentlemen?
Hello, Alex. Yes, happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Sprint Series finale, everybody. Happy Kyalami week, everybody. Happy rookie bad livery week, everybody. David McNulty, how are you?
That's a lot of energy. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Hope everyone else is doing well.
Yeah, bringing the energy tonight. Very much looking forward to this vote on the rookie liveries. Got a little sneak peek of these last night. They are absolutely horrible, so can't wait to that. Between split yellow and split green, having the opportunity to vote on those, and there's some absolutely disgusting entries. So looking forward to having a look at those. But also looking very much to this race, this qualifying session here with obviously split yellow very strong. We've enjoyed watching this all season long.
Yeah, Split Yellow is definitely being one of the stronger tiers, as we have just an Aston Martin going off in the background. That's normal for Kyalami, as the McLaren goes a bit off track as well. I'm not surprised. We're probably going to see that a bit tonight, but as long as we see some good racing between these drivers, there shouldn't be any problems.
I hope these are warm-up laps. But then, if they're warm-up laps, why are they off track? They're pushing. They're pushing tonight here in Split Yellow. Love it.
As long as they don't clobber the Bunnings sausage curb there, that would be ideal. As we just see John Sabiris go around the final corner now to start his flying lap in the 93 Crypto Racing car. It's a very nice livery. Hopefully the liveries we see later on are much worse than this.
Speaking of sausage curbs, you said it was ideal if people don't clobber it. I guarantee you there will be at least one death tonight from a sausage curb.
Milk on that.
Only one?
At least one.
0 deaths on the sausage tonight for Split Yellow. Split Green... Ooh. Nah, you know what? I'm going to double down. I'm going to say there's going to be 0 sausage deaths. Milk on it. Let's go.
Oh.
You're very confident, JC.
I'm going to be the opposite. I'm going to say 5 deaths among the 2 splits tonight.
Yes, there we go. Talk it up.
Wow, 5. Man, that's a lot of milk. I'm confident in Split Yellow. I reckon this is probably our strongest split in terms of the quality of driver. So I reckon there'll be no sausage deaths in yellow. Very confident on that one. Split Green, not so sure, especially obviously later in the evening, everyone a little bit tired, maybe looking for a bit of bedtime sausage, so maybe in Split Green. But I'll double down and I'll happily say there will be 0 deaths on the sausages at any split tonight. Hello, Jed Tully. Hello, Scarman Nuts. Hello, Ultimate Local. Hello, Hamster, Matt Powell. Matt Daddy's in there. Sim Races 666. Hello, chat. I've missed you all week long. I've been very much looking forward to seeing you again, chat. Hello, Hamster, Matt Powell.
Don't mind Bakita just already going a 140.5, no worries.
Straight off the bat. Yeah, don't mind it. There's probably the pole time now.
Oh no, it won't be the pole time. She'll go faster than that, 100%. If anyone was able to beat that time, it'll be Philippa herself.
Watching him go about his business this year and slaps it up there in P3. It's nice. Obviously still a fair way off Bakita and Smithy, but a very good lap start there from Empress, above most of the other drivers that have posted a lap so far.
No, something has happened.
We're still here. Still watching that Nippers. He's going around. Jackson also having another crack at here as he comes through Sunsets. Tips it in there in 4th gear. Interesting. That's right.
I mean, the McLaren would have a fair chunk of downforce to get around some of these corners, so going 4th probably makes sense, especially if you're taking a good amount of speed with the right line.
Hey Ben, you're racing tomorrow. I just saw that you marked in.
Yes, marked in.
How much practice?
0.
Good. All right. You and I were going to go in with 0 practice. I love it. This is, it's pretty well known that I don't like this track, so I've done 0 practice this week. So I'm telling him it's a better track. I like it.
Did you just say you don't like Kyalami?
I thought it was pretty well known that I do not like Kyalami. It's probably down with Imola and maybe 1 or 2 others that I can't get off the top of my head right now, but this is definitely bottom of my list. I do not like this.
Did you really just shit talk Imola and Kyalami in the same sentence?
In the same sentence. That's how talented I am.
Yes. It takes a special kind of talent. Look, I'm not I guess a die-hard fan of this track. It's a good track. I just don't love it as much as other people that rave about it all the time. I think it's a good track, great racing. It's just not one of my favourites.
Well, I'm going to be the complete opposite here and say that I absolutely adore this track. This is one of my favourites in the game. Just how, I don't know, it may just be the way you have to take some of the corners and how different it is in certain cars, as we see. Oh, the Nissan got very loose there of Ashland Reynolds. That's a brilliant save.
Probably lost a little bit of time, but if he improves on this lap, that's a great save through the S's from Ashland Reynolds. Hello. I've attracted a Peach. I said that Kyalami's bad, now he's in here giving me the booze. Hamster also giving me the booze. Yeah, look, as I said, I understand that it's a popular track, and it's an unpopular opinion that I'm not a big fan of this one, but it is what it is. I'm happy to have my mind changed at any time. Give me a good phrase.
Just saying boo earns, mate. Boo earns.
I was saying boo earns.
I mean, at least he didn't say that Mazzano's terrible.
Reynolds is pushing this lap. He just went wide there too. Managed to keep his foot in it. I want to see if he improves here, because as you said, we watched him save it in the S's. Is this an improvement? I think he did actually by like, what was it, 100? Yeah, 100.
Here's Matt Young just coming across the line now. Fastest time so far is a 42.2. He goes 41.7, so he's now up into P8 just behind Ashland Reynolds. That's nothing there, 8 thousandths of a second.
The Runner Racing. What's that one about, Digger? I'll let the imaginations of chat run wild with that one. I got a fair idea what it might be. I don't think it's suitable for stream.
Yeah, I was about to say it seems something a bit dubious. Ooh,
there you go.
Change for tonight. We've got a pit window tonight of 50 minutes, so you'll have a 50-minute period that you have to pit within. So I'm assuming that will be after five minutes, the pit window will open, and then with 5 minutes to go, it will close.
So what you're telling me is tomorrow night I can't run until the last lap.
That is correct. The Bender Strat.
Disappointed.
Well, look, the Bender Strat's not dead, but it is certainly hampered. Yeah. Hey, Bryce Meddings, member for 9 months. I reckon the Octane Club has been alive for 9 months. That means been since the start. So thank you, Bryce, for being with us for the last 9 months and onwards into the future.
Where's it
Well,
from?
I was going to say, while we're waiting for the final times to come through, if you're in chat, tell us your trash tier circuit list. What are your most hated tracks in chat after JC's revelation?
If I hear anyone say Paul Ricard, you're getting a big slap in the Discord. I don't know what sort of
Paul
punishment I
Ricard
can
is
hand down.
the worst track.
You would think that, Mr. Rejoin Man. No, you don't, no, your vote doesn't count.
Okay, you see, I like Paul Ricard, so I'm not going to say Paul Ricard.
Goat track.
I will say, though, it would have to be between Zandvoort, Brands Hatch, and what? Hungaroring. At least in ACC.
Ooh, careful with that Hungaroring slander. You'll get a bit of a slap from Neil. That's his favourite track.
Oh yeah, I there we go.
Oi. Yeah, there's some different answers coming through here. Spa is the worst. Ultimate Local, I'm not sure if that'd be a popular opinion.
We've got someone say Monza.
Yeah, Monza's
probably
low on
not
my list.
That's probably not a bad shout.
Monza's low on my list, that's for sure. That was another one that I was looking for before when I said Imola. Yeah, Zandvoort's probably a good low. I actually liked Zandvoort on the F1 game. But last
Zandvoort in
week,
the F1 game is really, really solid with the banking and all that.
Yep.
There's like issues with Jiraxi compared to other ones. Like, I don't know, Hungaroring for me in ACC just doesn't feel as smooth and flowy as it does in F1. Same with Zandvoort. Brands Hatch is just Brands Hatch, and then Paul Ricard's pit entry is garbage in this game.
Hello, Emily Jones. Great
She goes
team.
P3. Nice, what a lap right
Nice
then.
one in the Lambo. Like that.
Jumps up from P9 to P3. That's a great
Tell you what,
improvement.
she joined us this season and she started off pretty strong, but she's gotten stronger as the season's gone on too. She won at Suzuka and she's doing well here. She's done pretty well, Emily. Up there, and as I said, this is our strongest split. She's up there at P3 at the moment, so nice work, Emily Jones. Here's Mr. Spider-Man. We love Spidey. Oh, our favourite Tom Scanlon.
He is a bit far from podium though, unfortunately.
Well, of course he is with that attitude. Fix that up, Spidey. Oh, he's jumped up from 24th to 23rd. Yeah, he's far from the podium. Fair enough.
Oh, Bakita didn't quite get the 39 there, but a 40.1. That's still a very, very nice time.
It's insane how quick that is.
And again, half a second clear of Smithy tonight. So, just looking down the list here, Houlihan was at the
27th.
bottom. He was. What's he? So he hasn't qualified. Maybe he joined late. Someone might be able to tell us the story there. But we are usually seeing Bakita and Houlihan line up P1, P2, and tonight Houlihan starting from the back.
Meanwhile, further back in the grid within Pro-Ams, you had Sabiris take the Pro-Am pole in 10th place with Niparis and Matterford 12th and 13th, while in the AMs, you had Nick Miller take the AM pole in 17th with Warren close behind, and Mod Shazwan Redza in 20th.
I'm glad Zolder's got the lowest amount of votes in this poll, just quietly. I'm not even sure why it's in the poll, because it's a great track, and I think a lot of people really enjoy Zolder.
I think the poll is automatically null and void because it's not including Paul Ricard. I know it said the worst of these four, but Paul Ricard has to be in any poll involving the worst four tracks.
So are you just taking the piss, or is it literally a bad track on your list?
Literally my most hated track in all of motorsport.
Wow. Wow. How? The racing is so good. Like, I get that it's not like the greatest track
garbage.
lap. No, the racing is so good. Get out. You're taking the piss. You're trolling.
I'll grab some popcorn.
I've been saying that for years. Watch back the old streams. I'm consistent in my hate for Paul Ricard.
Well, I mean, if you're talking about crap tracks in general, there's one track that has like a really, really bad turn one. It's like a 90-degree corner. It's not a street circuit. It's like a proper circuit. They just have it like a 90-degree chicane as turn one, and it's terrible. I think there's a pretty infamous clip where the commentator said that whoever designed the first corner should be taken into a dark room and beaten.
Yes, no, I remember seeing that clip. That was in, I want to say it was like British touring car racing or something.
Yeah.
There was this huge pile-up. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, it might have been could have been DTM maybe.
Yeah, it could have been some type of sports car racing. Though.
Yeah, Osher's leaving. That's all I thought it was.
Maserati's back. Great sounding safety car. Ran the Jag the last couple of weeks, but good to see the Maserati back out leading the pack in its rightful place at the front of the field.
It's always nice seeing a Maserati out front.
Yeah, it's a shame it's dry at the moment. Much more exciting if we were watching it in the wet.
Yeah, unfortunately the rains did not bless us down in Africa today. At least for split yellow.
Nice one. Like that. I'm going to take the race start here. I was watching back old Kyalami streams over the last 2 days, and there is almost always carnage here at Kyalami. I guess it's because it's such a wide track, it's a bit more inviting. You want to go 3 or 4 wide because there is the space to do so. And it's not generally turn 1 where the issues arise. It's that turn, I want to say turn 2. Do we call it turn 2? That little kinky right-hander before barbecue?
Yep.
That's where it'll kick off. That's where it's going to be. Don't even need to curse it.
And now we'll get a whole bunch of people in the chat saying, oh, well, technically the kink on the start-finish straight is turn 1.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. All right. Do we have a track map? We're gonna have to find something we're all going to agree on, because I don't agree that
I don't think the kink should be considered a corner.
Well, I think we can all agree on one thing. As long as we don't have a start that lasts less than a meter, like we did last week, we should be fine.
Oh, yeah, it's the end. I remember. Yeah, right. We broke the record. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sure, we'll beat that.
We literally broke the 12 fucking meter record.
And did what? 3.5 meters before it went 3 wide? Anyway, let's see how we go here. Smithy's going to have to get his boots on if he wants to get down past Paquita at turn 1. Emily Jones right there sniffing around. Scoot's up there in P4 as well. Hello. Like that. Here we go. 5 red lights. And away we go. On their way down to turn 1. Paquita goes defensive very early on to cover off Emily Jones, who's putting a bit of pressure on. She breaks early, and Smithy goes around the outside. Paquita dives down nicely. There goes a bit of action around turn 1, but it's not too bad. That's nothing safety car worth. Oh, never mind. That might be safe. Nah, carry on. All good. They're all fine. 3 wide up through turn 3 or turn 2, depending on whether you like the kink or not. Here's barbecue. Big fat curb on the inside of barbecue there. And it looks like everyone's made it through pretty well, so no safety car. Carry on. Nice work. Philippa Paquita leads you, and Emily Jones has jumped Smithy up into P2. So Smithy will chase her up around here. They've gone around Sunset. I can't remember what this one's called. Cookie and D round out the top 5. So good start from Emily Jones. But now she's got to chase down Philippa Paquita. Good luck with that. Taking D. The Aston, Warntie Tribe, very good liveries. This team run a very nice livery, like the Warntie Tribe setup. Dan Hunt's behind her, but she wants to put pressure on Cookie now as they come down to the Crocodiles for the first time.
Corner names is legendary around this track. You've got some absolute bangers.
I agree with that. That's one thing that this track has going for it is some really good corner names. So hats off to the designers or whoever made that. Hunter's Prey. Hello, I like this from Dan Hunter. It's just a nice black livery. That's nice. I like that this week. Yes, that's very exciting.
Yeah, it's simple, but it works, especially considering the naming that he's gone with.
And because everyone else runs, coloured liveries or whatnot, so he actually stands out in that he has chosen no colour. I rate it. I like that from Dan Hunter. Gets a bit of pressure there from Reynolds down into turn 1 and or 2, but Reynolds gives up on that, tucks in behind as they go up towards barbecue. See the different lines going through barbecue there. That inside curb is really raised, so some cars happy to skip over that, no worries. You see Dan Hunter taking a pretty wide line there as he misses the curb. Actually putting all sorts of pressure on Dan Hunter here. He's right underneath his wing on a couple of occasions in the last couple of corners.
I think that's mainly just due to the fact that the Porsche is boats in a straight line, even though... do we even have a Bentley in this field? I don't think we have a Bentley in this field at this stage. So we don't have any boats, but the Porsche is close enough to a boat in a straight line. Meanwhile, that Nissan will absolutely fly, as that is Brandon Warren who is around.
Where is that? Is that in the S's?
Yes, that was in the S's.
Yeah, maybe just clipped an inside curb there and looped it around. So back to the back of the field he goes.
Yeah, hopefully it wasn't a hard hit on the wall because the pit window is still not open for just another minute and 45. We'll have to do at least one more lap.
Someone else who went to the back of the field was Scott Blair. He got shafted on the first lap.
Yeah, well spotted. He is indeed right down the
Ooh,
back of the field. So pit
That was
window for
a
anyone.
Honda. Sorry for cutting in there. That was a Honda. I reckon went wide and Cheetah probably just hitting a bit of that Bunnings curve. Well, it was Shazam Redzer.
Yeah.
Right. So we got Scotty Blair right behind the AM driver in the Honda. Will he go for a mirror at the inside? Of course he will. And Shazrin's gonna try and haul around the outside. Doesn't quite do it. So that's a Lexus off there. That's Simon Scanlon.
Righty. Yeah. Little errors early on here from a couple of drivers. So yeah, that pit window, for anyone who's not aware, you can pit whenever you want, but if you pit outside of the pit window, it does not include your mandatory stop, so you'll have to pit again. So that's why Bender so rightly said, if you've got some damage now, now's not the time to pit, because you'll just have to do it again. It doesn't count as your mandatory stop. So once this 55 minutes ticks down into the 54s, that pit window will open. I think it's 10 minutes, or is it 5 minutes either side?
Yeah, 5 minutes on either side, I reckon.
So at 55 minutes, we'll see that pit window open. You'll see it at the top of the screen there, and they'll get to dive in there and start their mandatory stops if they so please.
I mean, it's still a bit early yet, unless you have damage.
Yeah, we saw quite a few incidents in turn 1. A few people would have had some sort of hit. As,
Oh, that's a wide car.
P6 Reynolds in the Nissan. After Cheetah there, he's lost out to Dan Hunter. So he made his way past Dan Hunter, but now he's lost out to him. He's got
Now he's going to
Nada,
almost
Jackson, Ferris, all these guys behind him.
Meanwhile, the pit window is now open, so anyone looking to come into the pits, you may do so now and serve your mandatory pit stop. As we see, oh, Ashland goes very defensive there, or was he trying for a move on Dan Hunter? Oh, that was close. But that's opened the door, maybe just a touch for Pinata as we head further back in the field with Scanlon, Shazam, Redzer, and Gorowski. Redzer up
down the inside. Nice, Shazran.
That's a very nice move from the AM driver.
It just got done by Scope the lap before. He thought, you know what, I don't mind that. That's a good little idea. So he pulls one on.
Oh no, in the background.
Oh yes, that is death. A couple of deaths.
But there was contact there between Gorowski and that rejoin. Oh my goodness, Robinson, what are you doing? Wow.
Hey, a bit bold of you to be talking about rejoins there, Bender.
Well, I'm the one qualified to talk about him.
Yeah, he's.
You have all the experience.
Got the CV, the resume, all the badges, everything.
I mean, you even have a corner named after you.
Takes skill to be that good. Have a corner named after you.
Meanwhile, we're on board with Nick Miller up into P13. He's having a very nice race so far. We're only 7 minutes in, but still, being up there in P13 as an AM class driver, you got to be pretty happy with that if you're Nick Miller.
The first time he's been up there in the standings, Nick Miller. He's done pretty well in his debut season here in the Sprint Series. Loving that. He's jumped up from the rookies last season, so doing very nicely for himself.
We've got a fairly close battle here for P2. Oh, that's Brad Robertson who's gone off and he's teleported back to pits. That's pretty much going to be curtains for his race right there. But anyways, we're on board here with Zachary Smith, right behind Emily Jones. Not too far back, you got Cook and D getting up close as well. So we could have a 4-car battle soon for P2.
I mean, this gap between P2 and P3, Jones Smith hasn't really changed since the start. The others behind, just yo-yoing a little bit. So we'll have to see. I think Smith probably marginally faster than Jones at the start of the race. It was point in the race, but can't get past. But Lamborghini's doing very well.
Lamborghini's always felt like a fairly solid car around Kyalami, to me at least. And even in general, it's a good car.
Is there any other cars that sort of stand out? I know the Audi used to. Oh, Shazrin!
That?
Round he goes. And he's doing the right thing there, waiting for everyone to get past.
The Bentley has been strung at Kyalami a few times before.
Is the Audi still wicked OP here, or has that changed now that it's 1.8? Wasn't it the Audi that in 1.7? Wasn't the Audi like the car? We did the 9 hours
Yeah.
at Kyalami, and literally like 8 of the top 10 were Audi.
Yeah, it was very strong. I'm not sure. I haven't driven it personally. Interesting to see though with the new DLC cars coming out today, tomorrow, sometime. If the new Audi is really strong around here.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to keep an eye on, the new DLC.
Is it just cars that's this DLC?
It is just cars. Yep.
That's a little disappointing.
It is a little disappointing. Yeah, we're all
New cars
looking
are-
forward to new tracks.
new
We've got
cars
enough
are
cars. Give me
always
some more
nice,
tracks. Yeah. Looking forward to the Ferrari the most out of the new cars. Audi doesn't particularly interest me. We've just got a BMW, so that means no look at those.
Yeah.
Porsche looks fun too.
For those who are unaware, perhaps take us through all the cars just very quickly that we are getting as part of the DLC update.
Me? Oh, I just
I don't wanna-
reeled off the ones that I know about there. So there is a Porsche. Someone in chat's going to have to do this because I actually don't really know. There's a Porsche. I think it's a spec Porsche, not a GT3. So
Would it be the 991 Cup car?
something like that. Yeah, it sounds about right. The Audi, I think, is the only one that we're going to have in our GT3 series. It's like an upgrade of the current Audi. It's V2 or the Evo. The Ferrari, I think, is a spec car as well. The BMW, I think, is a spec car as well. I think that's it. I think it's just the 4.
Correction, the 992 Cup car.
Thank you. Yeah, no, so yeah, someone in chat's going to come through with a list here.
Yep, here we go. So we've got Porsche Cup, Lambo, Audi, Ferrari, and an M2.
Lambo's the one that I missed. So it's the, the Super Trofeo that we already have. Again, another spec car.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
the Evo version of that. So it's
Oh.
just an upgraded version.
Got a 5-second penalty for Shaz and Redser for dangerous driving on lap 5.
So we just saw him spun around. I wonder if he maybe did a poor rejoin. No, we watched him rejoin and he did well. He waited for everyone to go past, so it probably wasn't that. Interesting to see what that was about. Anyway, a little slap on the wrist there for Shazran after his little spin before. One there for Spidey as well. Spidey grabs himself 5 seconds for a little collision there on lap 5.
Okay, yeah, there we go. Now we've got a proper list. So the Ferrari is the Ferrari Challenge 2021. The Porsche is the 992 Cup car. The Lamborghini is the Super Trofeo Evo 2. The BMW is the BMW M2 CS, which I'm pretty sure is the GT4, if I'm not mistaken. And Audi GT3 Evo 2. So we see more penalties coming in now. So we've got a 10-second penalty for Brad Robinson, and even before we saw one for Summit Scanlon, 5-second penalty for causing a collision.
The last thing Robinson did, we saw him teleport to the pit, so he's obviously had a serious collision at some point. We watched him recover his car and head back to the pit lane. We'll tell you what we've been watching for a little while now, spinning pressuring George Jones. Absolutely all up in her business, but she looks pretty smooth. She is a crawl, as we say that. She goes a little bit wide there. Just to keep her foot in it and keep her pace going, so nice little turn out of the last corner there too. So she's got a good exit. It's really unlikely to get anything done here in turn 1. Or turn 1.5, turn 2, or whatever you call it. Actually, I'm going to get the OOR Octane Online Racing official track map right now, so there's no further confusion.
That's probably a good idea, because otherwise I'd probably get confused as well.
Alright, turn 1 is the kink. According to Octane Online Racing, turn 1 is the kink bender.
We're not counting it, mate.
It is the official track map. So I bow to officialdom. The kink is turn 1. It's even called the kink. I like that. Crowthorne is turn 2. 3
Sounds a
and
bit
4
kinky.
are Sweepy S's. Barbecue turn 5. Sunset turn 6. Clubhouse is the one I was looking for before. S is 8, 9. Le Cop turn 10.
Mine shaft at turn 12.
Nice one, yep.
The Crocodiles, that's iconic. And
Beautiful.
another one, Cheetah,
Yes.
as iconic with that yellow sausage. And then, turn 16.
Someone's going to have to help me out with the pronunciation of that one. Ingwe? Ingwe. I don't know bloody know. Anyway, turn 16. Ingwe.
It's 16, mate. It's already got a name.
The final corner. That'll do.
Yes, there you go. Oh, look at this. Smithy. He's just sitting right there.
Seems to gain a bit through Cheetah. Can he get anything through turn 16? Not quite. He'll have to try again down the straight towards the kink at turn 1. Doesn't sound right to say, but still. Okay, so we've got a pronunciation. Ingwe for the final corner. Sounds fair enough. We have a question as well. What's our favourite colour?
It's got to be orange, green, or blue. I know there's 3 there, but yeah.
What? No, hang on. You can't hedge your bets like that. Pick one.
I just did, mate. I gave you 3.
No, I want 1, not 3. That's the cheater's way out. Give us 1. My favourite colour's green. Great question, Yolo Sugi. Scarlet Cats? Oh, is that what that is? You got me. Thank you, Eric, for the $5 and for embarrassing me with your name. That's well played by you. That will live on. Oh, I can't believe I just read that out loud. There you go. Nice.
Meanwhile, I'll just cut in here. So my favourite colour would have to be just a very nice shade of pink. Because why not?
So like a, not a fluoro pink, like sort of like a pastel pink.
Yeah, more of like a pastel pink sort of thing. It's just more subtle. It's good. Mac Daddy.
Demonetized man from YouTube. Thanks, Matt. I'm gone. See ya.
Thanks for joining us, JC. Your commentary license is revoked.
I get kicked every week. There is something that I do every week, and you tell me I'm not coming back, and I still make it back.
Look, I banned you from reading out names from chat a few weeks ago, mate. This is why I implemented that rule.
This is why. Yeah, fair enough.
Meanwhile, I'll read a name out of chat. Mac Daddy, he's joined the 87 Octane regular membership.
Nice. Get around it like that. Someone diving into the pits there. Matterford under pressure from... No, Matterford putting pressure on Salty Rod.
It was Wenzel that came into the pits.
Down into turn 1, which is the kink. Thank you, Bevan. Defending the inside line is Salty Rod. Does nicely. Positions his car. It's a very wide track, though, so Matterford gets to a chance for a switch back in. No,
Okay, I'm liking some of these ideas for livery. So we've got a pink livery, the Pepto-Bismobile.
For my small little brain, do you want to elaborate on that one?
Okay, so do you know what Pepto-Bismol is?
No.
Then there's probably no point. I mean, just Google it.
Just Google it, JC.
Okay, alright, I'll go and Google it. There's only 2 snags, by the way. Eric's done well. He's donated 2 snags to the comms team. Do you want to fight over the snags? It's not enough for all 3 of us. What are we going to do?
Cut one and cut them into 3 equal pieces. Pieces.
Yep.
Or
You get 2/3 of a sausage each.
yeah, except one person will have 2/3 like split into 2.
Thank you very much for the 2/3 of a sausage, Eric. You're very generous. Smithy? Any chance here? No, too far back. Tell you what, Brad Cook up there in P4, isn't he doing well? I couldn't curse him in Suzuka, and I'm not going to do it here either, because he's flying along. He's doing very nicely.
JC, we know what you're trying to do.
Professor, that is a very pink car. That's very bright. Have a look at that one. He's not even going for the worst livery competition. He's just brought that out because on Wednesdays we wear pink.
Is it? I mean, if that's meant to be an entry into the worst liveries competition, then he's probably gone for the wrong end because that like personally that actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, he's not winning with that entry.
He'd probably be last of the worst.
It was actually tough last night trying to find the 4 that we wanted chat to vote on because there was a lot of pink. A lot of pink came out from the rookies last night. So apparently pink is oh, that's wide. Here's a chance for Salty Rod into the S's, whereas not a lot of room for 2 cars, and he does. He has to compromise himself. So Matterford gets it back, but up to the hairpin we go. Here we go. Side by side. Salty Rod with the inside here, looking like the favourite. Matterford will have to go really deep, which he does. It's not a great deal of grip out there, my friend. That'll do that. Down into the crocodiles, Salty Rod will lead. So nice work. Excellent little battle there between those two. Salty Rod comes out on top.
Great battling between these two. That was very clean. It doesn't look to be over yet. Matterford's having a look. Has he just gotten... yeah, he has gotten Salty Rod to break a little late, although it's going to be an ask to get up the inside cheater, and Matterford doing the right thing, backing out. But meanwhile, Mac Daddy, $11.70. We've got vote to kick JC. What do you think, JC?
Well, I can't vote on that. It's up to chat to decide whether they want to kick me. Just be careful what you wish for, though, because they'll never come back. Nah, that's a falsification. $11.70. That's very specific. I think that's aimed at me being my race limit. It's very specific. Thank you, Mac Daddy. All donations welcome. There's enough for a handful of sausages there. Love that.
We've also got a question from that Sim Racer 666. What's the worst GT3 car?
I think the worst one performance-wise, or the one that we just hate to drive?
I'd assume the one that we just hate to drive.
Because it's got to be the shit brick Nissan.
Okay. Well,
Called that for a reason. Look, JC, I'm sorry, you haven't been around long enough in the history annals of OOR to know the references that go back a long way.
Well, tell me about it. Well, we've got this Nissan on screen from Matt Nippers. What's wrong with the Nissan? Tell me about it.
I think it would have been season 2, maybe it was season 3. No, I drove the Nissan for a season, and it was honestly the worst car I've ever driven. And this is back before it got buffed and patched and improved a lot like it is now. It was just absolute garbage.
Oh, that's wide. Keep your foot in it, Matt. He does. Nice work. So it was just slow, or was it didn't turn very well, or
slow? Didn't really handle that well. Back end stepped out, pretty much in a straight line if you weren't driving well.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I like the Nissan now. I obviously don't know much about season 2 or back then, but no, I like the Nissan now. Bryce Manning's bang $30 through Super Chat. Beautiful wheel-to-wheel racing. This is exactly what we want to see. Well said by you. Thank you very much. That's a very generous donation from you, Bryce Mannings, who's already jumped on board for 9 months with his Octane Online Racing membership. So comes through with a second gesture there. Very nice. Lebowski. Emily Jones still holding off Smithy pretty comfortably here. Philip Nikita obviously walking away again tonight. She's now 9 seconds clear of these two. So the battle for P2 is on here.
I will say, in this race, haven't really seen anything of Ryan Houlihan. Is he still in this race, or did he just do an early pit stop?
That's a no.
No.
So maybe he's had some sort of connection issues. I mean, he didn't really qualify, did he?
I don't think so, but he was in the server ready to go at the start, but yeah. And he came into this race P2 in the championship, right?
Yep, he sure did.
Wonder if they'll just open the door for someone else to just sneak in there and steal it last minute. You see,
Yeah,
Scott,
who's out?
10-second penalty for causing a collision on lap 1.
Did we ever figure out what happened to Will?
No, that's what we were just talking about.
Right, so I was reading chat. I can't do two things at once. Right, okay.
Oh, it's like, I know that, yeah.
That's unfortunate. Ooh, there's a drop around. The Audi is the answer to the question for me, by the way. Doesn't sound very nice, feels very nice, tries to kill you all the time. I think.
I've only driven the Audi once, but yeah, I'd agree. We've got a question, favourite car? Okay, I mean, have to be the Bentley. I am a Bentley bitch.
McLaren for me. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I love the McLaren. Looks like a racing car, sounds like a racing car. drives like a racing car. It's not a big bloody 4-door family saloon bloody thing. No, I love it. Don't
Well, sorry, but you're both wrong. It's the V12 Aston. If you haven't driven it, you're missing out. If you haven't done the 12-hour Bathurst in it, you're missing out.
Wow. Now we're flexing.
Oh mate, that was a dream. The stream focused on it on board for so long. It was so funny. It's the only time I think that car has ever got screen time, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, it sounds so good, so amazing." It's a V12.
Any V12 will sound good.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, it does sound very classy. There's a challenge at the moment, ACC. I think it's you got to take it through Bathurst. That was the first time I drove it, and yeah, it was a pretty pleasant experience. We'll agree. Great car. I have no hate on affordable family cars. I'm a massive fan of, just not for GT3 racing. Like, why is, Alex? I don't want to poo-poo on yours, but why is the Bentley? Isn't that like it's like a Rolls Royce type rich person hanging around the Crown Casino type setup?
Before we get to Alex, I think we've got to just check the definition of affordable family cars.
Oh, the Bentley's probably not in that list. Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be many of the GT3 cars in the list of affordable family cars. I think probably the closest you'd get would be...
Yeah, which one?
honestly, I
the
think
Honda.
the closest
Isn't it
you'd
the
get
Honda?
would be the BMW.
Ah. I thought like a Honda Accord or something. But no, some pretty... Nissan would be there too. The Nissan would be around about... Not the GTR though, I guess. But I'm just thinking more of the brands. Like, you're not going to find...
Oh, if you're just talking about
Porsche.
brands, then yeah, you'd definitely be looking... Like, even somewhat Mercedes. Mercedes aren't terribly overpriced if you get the right one.
Oh, here you go, JC. Your definition of an affordable family car in the Bentley just goes for a cool 400 grand.
Yeah, that's fine. No, it's just a small loan of 400.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I carry it around in my wallet, you know.
Just got to save for a couple of weeks on your current wage, and you pull out a Bentley. And that's fine.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it's a
Really doing
two-door
all right,
car
actually.
as well, the Continental.
So not very family at all.
I mean, if you're looking at a Bentley for a family, you'd want to look at the Bentayga, and even then, I don't think you'd want to look at a Bentayga.
Tell you what, there's a lot of love for the Jag coming through, just quietly. A couple of little sneaky messages here saying the Jag is the best, and there's no argument. Thoughts on that?
There is definitely an argument, although it did win a Sprint Series race here and there, so I guess you can't complain too much about it.
Is that one of the cars that was like originally released and like you were talking about with your Nissan before, where it just hasn't been loved enough, it hasn't been given any buffs or whatever? Or what's the
Jag was amazing early on, and then it just stopped getting updated. I think it stopped. I don't know if it stopped racing or not, but yeah. And ever since season 2, I think season 2 was the most picked, well, not most picked, one of the most popular choices for cars, and it won so many races. And then then we got used again because it got absolutely dumpstered.
Hopefully we've got more questions. Out of all GT3 cars, which one would you prefer as a daily driver?
That's the mutton.
Would have to be either
That was
the
very quick.
would have to be either the Mercedes or the Bentley.
Yeah, Aston Martin. Great name. I could be James Bond, taking my kids to school. That's
Yeah.
a nice colour there from Brad Cook too, actually. It's a nice shade of green. Not quite the Aston Martin green, it's a little bit darker, but he's done pretty well there.
We go with the Aston as well. Also, just to note, while we've been talking about cars, having a couple of laps ago, Zach Smith hit it from P3. He's going for the undercut on Emily Jones. Currently running in P16. He's got a bit clear air in front of him. So we'll see how that works out when Brad Cook and Emily Jones pit in the near future.
Well, we're almost halfway through the race.
and it is a track that's, you know, it's you can pass. It's not like it's incapable of passing. But it didn't look like she was cracking under it sort of pressure, so I am interested to see if that works.
Well, something to point out is for a split second, Dan Hunter was ahead of Zach Smith on the timing, but yeah, now it's about 6 seconds, so it was clearly just when they crossed the finish line that was where they were on track comparatively, with one in the pit lane, the other one going full speed on track.
Yeah, Aston's getting a lot of love in chat for the daily drive as well. See,
We've got a being in pit lane penalty for Jordan Sabiris, 10 seconds.
Lucky.
it is a little deceptive entry here.
Especially if someone just decides to randomly just hit that pit entry board and be like, oops, oh no, there's no more pit entry board. What will we do now?
Yeah.
Where is the pit entry board? Is it around the corner, or is it as you come in?
It's pretty much right as you come in, because
okay.
as you're going around the corner, you already have your pit limiter on.
So you can hit it at speed, which is probably what Jordan's done there. Yeah, okay, alright.
Well, I mean, if you hit it at speed, you're most likely going to be hitting a wall as well.
Yes.
He's got some traffic here. He's got Bedford Bridge to deal with. Bedford Bridge not blue flag, so don't have to give way to him whatsoever.
He's got a much better exit out of there. He's going to try up the inside here. He's going to need to be aggressive but fair. And Pethy Bridge is holding around the outside. But yeah, Smithy's got that done. Good move.
Good racing from Pethy Bridge there too. Didn't cost himself too much time. Obviously knows his race is not with Smithy. So just sort of opened the door there a little bit. Made him burn it, but didn't put up too much of a fight. Like that.
Alright, we've got another question. What's an underrated colour combo for a livery? Well, I mean...
This one.
Yes, the Hyundai Rally livery is amazing.
That's great. That's amazing. I love that from Adam Lillard.
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna bring out here just a random combination of blue, pink, and white, because why not?
Hey, you haven't raced in ACC this season. You doing any of the enduros? You doing any of the special events? You doing anything at all in ACC, Alex? What's the go? You've been missing for a while. We missed you. What's going on?
Yeah. So, well, I mean, at the end of the Sprint Series last season, I decided I was going to take a bit of a break. I did do the Bathurst 12-hour. That was good fun. But yeah, for the most part, I've more just stood aside for a little bit from majority of sim racing, just enjoying the other elements of it for a little bit. May head back into it a bit later, but we'll see what happens.
Tell you what, looking forward to our next sprint season. It's going to be ample fun, all new tracks and all sorts of stuff. So hopefully we get you back for the next sprint series. I'd like to see that blue, white, and pink livery.
Alright, now we've got the real questions coming in. Moritz has asked, who will be European F3 champion in 2027?
That's a great question.
Is it? I don't know.
Don't you follow the Formula 3, JC?
I don't follow the Formula 3, nor do I know where Europe is, and I probably can't predict that far into the future even if I could, so...
Right, you got time to start following it by 2025, and then you can make a prediction.
I reckon the answer is... Jordan Sabiris. No, not with that line, Jordan. Never mind.
I'm going to go with one of Kimi Räikkönen's kids.
Hey, Nikita's pitted. D's pitted. Matterford's pitted. Emily Jones in the lead of this one at the moment.
Red flag it. Red flag it.
Cookie up there in P2 doing nicely as well. So, Nikita. Yeah, I think she was 10 seconds clear, so not in any danger whatsoever. Reasonably clean there and continues her domination. Jones, when does she pit?
Oh wow. So you said 10 seconds before. Akita is 20 seconds ahead of Zach Smith.
And Smithy was right there with Emily Jones, so yeah, well spotted. Although time board has brought up, we'll see another little iteration here as Smithy comes across that next time in a couple of seconds. When does Emily come in and where does she come out? 13 seconds is the gap. Even Smithy, here she comes.
She's spinning out.
There's your brake marking board. Oh, she gives it a little kiss on the way through. And here's Smithy, halfway through the middle sector, coming into the S's now. So he's got a fair way to go if he wants to get this undercut done. But obviously long pit stops. There's plenty of time. It's going to be close.
Well, wherever Emily Jones come out should answer the next question. Overcut or undercut for Kyalami?
Let me answer that question in about 20 seconds, Ultimate Local.
Yeah, there you go.
Cookie's in as well. So this is going to be interesting. Where will Emily Jones come out in comparison to Zachary Smith?
Yeah. Triangle is still staying in that hit lane. Peter retakes the lead across the line. Here comes Smithy. He's got it done.
Cookie's
Comfortably.
jumped Emily Jones.
Yeah,
In the
so
pit.
maybe Emily missed the pit box a little bit there.
Could there have been some damage, maybe, as well?
Just don't think so.
So yeah, that's missed the pit box to like the pit entry right. Or not, because yeah, he's got it. So,
Look at this, the gap. And we're on board with Megan D P6 here. Emily Jones, then just come out ahead, P4. And Brad Cook not much further up the road. Any of these 5 drivers could end up on the podium, really. Smithy's got about 5 seconds on Cook, so maybe we'll see how that goes, take him out of it. But Cook to D, that's going to be a great battle for the last spot on the podium.
Well, I mean, there's only one correct answer to this current poll going on chat. Favorite flavor of original shapes between barbecue, pizza, cheese and bacon, and chicken crimpy.
It's cheese and bacon.
Pulse.
There's only one correct answer, and it's not Bender's.
It's pizza, isn't it, Alex?
No, it's barbecue. Come on, everyone loves
What?
barbecue.
Wow, all right. 3 different answers here in the comms box. There you go, chat. Have fun with that one.
I guess
What
the
is your
good thing is
favourite
that
flavour of shapes?
I'm just glad no one went with chicken crimpy in the comms box.
But there's people in chat going with chicken crimpy.
Those
Shameful.
people, yeah, that's pretty
Absolutely shameful.
You've made yourself enemies in the commentary box, chicken crimpy fans. Get out. So rightly put by, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Babby yesterday. We were talking about it. It is just salt and fat and sugar is chicken crimpy. That's all you can taste out of it.
At least with the other flavors, you have something on it to go with it. Chicken crimpies are just... I mean, would you rather have chicken crimpies or just have a salada biscuit?
Well, hang on. Chicken crimpy wasn't even part of the OG group. What happened to cheddar? That was a good flavour. That should be on there instead of chicken crimpy.
Yeah, cheddar's not bad. I'd rather go and eat 3 dry wheat bix than chicken crimpy shapes.
Oh, hold on. Got a battle here between Robert Wenzel and Jared Matterford. Wenzel just ran a bit wide, but we do have a side-by-side going down here.
How has he got that much drive out of the final corner? He went through the beach on his way, and he's still got to run down here. Wenzel's got the inside.
Yeah, that wasn't going to end well.
So interesting, they were far enough alongside, and it looked like they gave each other enough room. They just managed to come together, and it was only the slightest little touch that got Matterford around, so stewards will have a little look at that one. They'll get all the angles, and they'll get all the views, and there's plenty of them in there in the stewards box. They'll work together on that one. It'll be a tricky one.
Yeah, I don't think there was much in it, but I could see it coming from a mile away. There was always going to have someone have a bit of a moment there. So seems like here at Octane Online Racing going to have some fun theme rounds next season in rookies and sprints. One of the ideas is a shapes round where you paint your car your favorite shapes colour.
Oh, here you go. This is my time to shine. Since they were doing fun rounds, and my idea ages ago was put in the bin of renaming the splits to ice cream flavours. We can have an ice cream flavoured inspired livery round.
We already do. We have Neapolitan liveries appear anyways.
Yeah, but get everyone on board, not just a select few people, you know?
Yeah.
Just wanted to point out some good blue flag in there from Shazrin. Did well. He got a bit of a flash from Hunter down through the kink. And he said, alright. He just jumped out of the way of both Hunter and Megan D there. Good blue flag in Shazrin. Yeah, lots and lots and lots and lots of fun coming in the next sprint season. Just one of a few ideas coming around is the shapes.
Well, I mean, if we did ice cream flavours, you'd see a lot of white, pink, and brown, most likely.
What colour is Maxi Bomb?
It depends on the flavour of Maxi Bond, because my personal favourite is a nice mint, so I'd probably go off a bit of more of a green personally.
Maybe
Although the
maybe
honeycomb
yellow.
is pretty nice as well.
Yellow for honeycomb there, JC.
I'm a cookies and cream fan, Maxi Bomb, so I guess just white with cow spots. Iced coffee, ice cream. Jason Gowers, you are after my heart.
This is why people tune in to the Octane Online Racing stream. We bring you all the latest and greatest discussion on shapes, flavours, ice cream rounds.
Shapes flavoured ice cream.
Fast food restaurants. So you've got to have half of Alpha Venturi chuck on a zinger box the car.
Ah, they'd get around that round for sure.
I've never actually had a zinger box.
You've never had a zinger box.
Yep, never have one.
You have never zing dong in your life.
You haven't lived, Bendo. You haven't lived. Especially now that the Wicked Wings are 180% better than they used to be, get yourself a zinger box. Go and
Oh,
get
the
your
Wicked
Zinger
Wings are fantastic.
box. So much better now. Shazrin gets 5 seconds for ignoring blue flags. Okay, so I saw him coming down through the kink, and he got a flash from Hunter. So maybe Hunter was getting frustrated based on the previous corners, and maybe we'd missed Shazrin ignoring those blue flags. So that's a bit disappointing. But it looked like he got out of the way nicely. I commented on his blue flagging, and now I've been egg on my face.
Well, I mean, down that straight, he was holding up the inside and then moved to the outside at the braking zone, and that meant Dan had to change his line fairly late to dive up the inside to get past. So I'm not sure where there was something going on beforehand or not, but I probably can't read into that too much.
Yeah, no, that's so Stewards have got every angle, so they know what they're doing. I just feel a little bad that I made the wrong call. I gave him a bit of a juice up, and anyway, he'll learn from that. Will Shazrin. He's had a bloody good season, which is vital. Regardless of the blue flag shenanigans in this race, he's had a really good season coming up from the last year. His race draft has improved, his pace has improved, so
Pretty sure last season he was in split yellow in the AM class as well, so pretty sure it was the season before that he was in rookies.
what did I say? Season or year? I said year.
Yeah, you said year, but the last season was last year as well.
Goodness me.
What? I know it feels like we're almost in December
It's
again,
fair, yeah,
but
honestly,
It really
it's
does.
already April. Yeah, it's how quick is it going? Yeah.
well, it's not even April yet; it's March.
Saltero, he wants this spot back on Wenzel. Oh, that's going to be a dive if he goes for it, and he is.
And they haven't made contact somehow. Good heads-up driving from these two. Oh, that's a
Yeah,
bit
nice,
wide
that's
from
wide
Wenzel.
from
That is
Suba.
very
Super
wide. And here comes Matterford. That these two better not come together again. Oh, Matterford's gonna try up the inside, get a bit of redemption from last time these two were together on track.
he was almost too generous in the space that he gave there, Matterford, around Sunset. He thought he was going to get it done, but he just sort of... He almost got up on the curb. They're still side by side. Look at them go. Into the S's now. Super using all of the curb there, which can be dangerous. But if it gets away with it, he gets it done. So up to the hairpin they go. Suma holds off Matterford, but yeah, losing that spot to Saltier after running very, very, very wide through barbecue.
Ooh, so something else. Also looking to add custom liveries back for all series and events from next season. That's going to be interesting.
Go and look up our man Preach Designs. He will give you the goods. I'm not going to be creating any bloody custom liveries for myself, that's for sure. Not a creative bone in my body, but I will be employing Preach Designs for sure. And making sure I get out there in a very spicy livery if that comes to fruition.
Oh yes. But I might get my hands a little dirty and chuck myself back into the Sprint Series next season if we're gonna have some custom liveries going about. It's about time I got back into the steam of things with this game. Seems like this season has been quite the one to watch.
It's been great spectating for sure.
It definitely has. There's always been plenty of action, plenty of overtakes, and that mentioned rain, but unfortunately it looks like it's going to come after the race ends, as usual.
Oh, so I guess the rains really did bless Africa today.
Yeah, it's not through the race, unfortunately. It'll be 30 minutes time.
There's still time. Got super qualifying coming up at reverse grid pole, haven't we? Don't we? Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it anyway. Just make them go
Why
around again.
not?
It's the finale of the Sprint Series. Let's just make them go around again for another hour. Make a reverse grid. Do the rain. But instead of 12, Nikita has to start last.
She'll still win the race.
Actually, no. She has to start tomorrow. She'll probably still win the race.
I mean, at least she's not in the McLaren MCL 36.
Oh,
Because I'm pretty sure they're still trying to finish the Bahrain Grand Prix. Ricardo and Norris.
That's rough. Wow, that was unprovoked.
Well, here we go. We have some shapes on screen. So we have a couple flavors here: nacho cheese, couple originals in there as well: cheese and bacon, chicken crimpy, cheddar.
What about savory? Savory's pretty good.
Savory's pretty good, yeah. Pizza, barbecue, and then the Vegemite and cheese. I mean, if we want to talk about crazy flavors of snacks, you have was it the Smith's Chips Lamington flavor?
Really?
From a few years ago.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen? Okay, so I think it was what 4 years ago at this point that they had Lamington flavored Smith's Chips, and they were terrible.
Yeah, I'm not surprised based on the flavour, Lamington flavoured chips. Yeah.
Yes, go to chat. I thought there was a race happening. What do you want about? What? This is just clearly a replay, isn't it? We're just talking about all these beautiful shapes flavors.
Yeah. Discuss food. If you're in a different region, so if you're in Europe or America, let us know what your, I guess, most strange flavoured snack would be, whether it's something like shapes or chips, something like that, whatever the strangest flavour is available in your region.
No, Rob Maddox, you are amazing. Thank you very much for the $20 donation. Rob Maddox, ladies and gentlemen, is, well, I'm not going to say he's the fastest because we've got plenty of fast rookies coming through, but he will be in the Sprint Series next season if I have my way. He is top of the rookie field in his Bentley, is Rob Maddox, so remember that name. You'll be seeing him in the next Sprint Series for sure, I would suggest. And he'll be fighting up at the top end if his rookie pace is anything to indicate. Thank you very much for the 20, mate. Very generous. Up here battling Emily Jones and Brad Cook. That's around about where he'll be because he is super quick. rookie. Too serious. Easy to get a track cut out there though.
Very easy if you just dip your wheels off of that red white curb just a little too much. Oh, that was loose from Emily Jones. Probably just got a little wide on entry and just had to correct it offline, but managed to keep it going. Here's a good battle. Dan Hunter and Megan D for P5.
Yeah, it's been going for a little while, this one. Megan D trying to chase down Dan Hunter.
Has a look up the inside, but can't brake late enough. That Aston's got a bit of pace in the straight line compared to that Porsche. I mean, predictably, that Porsche is, as I said earlier, a bit of a brick going down the straights.
Oh, don't tell us that, Snapper. That's not what we want to hear.
Uh-oh.
That'll put a spanner in the works of Split Green if that is the case. Of course, with DLC comes updates via Kunos, and with Kunos updates comes drama sometimes. So it would be hardly surprising if they sprung it on us around about now. Obviously, Europe just starting to wake up after their third cup of tea and set of breakfast or whatever it is they do over there.
Kunos things doing Kunos things.
Yeah, seems like a couple of Split Green guys struggling to join the server.
People in chat saying ACC down, yeah.
No.
Oh, we've had these vibes before.
Have we gotten through this entire season without many issues in terms of that?
Yeah, blessedly we have. I think we have. I think it's been pretty cool. So beating the Lotus sausages and Megan D with the Aston just rides it. Yeah, it's been pretty good, hasn't it?
Yeah. Hopefully we can get Split Green started on time. I mean, I guess it's a decent thing that we're finishing the season on now, because I'm sure with the new update there's going to be some changes with the handling. Hopefully that doesn't affect the drivers still competing.
Yeah, races tomorrow.
If it does have a big effect, that's going to make things tricky for guys in Split Blue and Split Red across all regions.
That's right, Freedom Tough in Split Red. Used to the rain. New handling, nah, that'll be a breeze.
Diabol's just put a note in chat. Cook is closing in by about half a second a lap on Smithy right now, so it could be very close at the end for P2.
He's having a great race, is Cook. On the podium at the moment, looking super sound. Like, as good as he did at Suzuka. Really killing it out there.
You're really trying to curse him, aren't you? Like, you tried to...
not in the slightest. I'm not even trying. We've already discussed this now. You try and curse someone, it doesn't work. You've got to actually really mean what you're saying. And, actually,
what?
I'm saying exactly what I'm saying.
So what are you trying to do then?
On his race in a cursory tone.
Oh Lord. Now I've been told to, if the servers are down, sing the Best of Bowie album. I mean, I do a fair amount of singing, but I mean, Best of Bowie album's probably not one that I'm as familiar with as probably some others around that era.
I knew you were Rapunium's most eligible and handsome bachelor. I didn't know you were a singer. What do you sing?
Well, I was in a local choir last year, like second half of last year when COVID was trying to do COVID things. Ended up getting to do a performance eventually at the end of the year, and I got a fairly large part of a piece from Les Miserables, which was what we were sort of touching upon. I mean, it is a local choir in like a town that has about 1,000 people, so not a lot, but yeah, I mean, I was still pretty happy with myself being able to get up on stage and perform in front of people and actually do well and get it was quite an experience, something they'll hopefully be able to do more of in the future.
Octane Online Racing karaoke when?
Now, why not? I mean, if we do have a bit of a delay in split green, then why not?
Yes, Conan. Yes, we have seen the rain, but it's still half an hour away.
Yep.
6 minutes to go in this one. 6 minutes for Megan D to try and get something done here on Dan Under. She's been wearing him like a glove for the last couple of laps. 6 minutes for Emily Jones to try and get past Cook here and retake her podium position. She's also sweating on Cookie, who's having a great race and looks very solid.
It's all right. We do have a delay. We can have 1 hour of vendors trivia night.
Is that where I get to pose trivia questions to you, or are you the trivia master?
Oh, mate, I'm the trivia master. You got to come up with the answers.
Ah, perfect. I like answering random trivia. I mean, why not? At some stage we should really just have a real fun night where we can sort of do that sort of thing, just as a community.
Yeah, trivia night's a good shout, just quietly. For those listening who make up ideas, think of events and things. Trivia night, great idea. Bender runs it. Bender, absolutely hands down, has to run that.
Then the facts trivia night.
Vendor facts trivia night. It would be a little bit difficult though if it was purely online. It'd take a lot of honesty from people because phone, internet, or well, yeah, I suppose.
Nah, so it's multiple choice trivia, and you've got a timer of 5 seconds. You've got hardly any time. You can't do it.
You can't even read the answers.
That's right. No, you've just got to pick a random A through D.
Yeah, roll
You
with
haven't
it.
even
Okay.
finished reading the question. You just slap an answer out. We can make it
And
work.
this is why you use Kahoot. You can set a timer of 5 seconds on Kahoot. We're not sponsored, by the way, just pointing that out
no.
now before someone decides to...
Doesn't matter. We've already been demonetized because I read out Eric's name before, so this stream's worth nothing anymore at the moment. So you can just do what you like now.
I mean, I guess it's a good thing that we've had so many generous people in chat tonight.
Yeah, plenty of sausages, plenty of dog biscuits for Max. Still split green to come to, plenty of action to go, and of course, as we said at the start, in around about 4 minutes' time, once this one completes, we'll get these rookie liveries out, and we will vote, and the vote will be counted. And the winner will get the DLC. That's a nice, handy little prize, just quietly. The DLC can be, I don't actually know what it's worth. I think it was 15 euros. I think someone said on Jardi's stream, he said it was 15 euros. I don't know how that converts.
15 euros would probably be about...
$20.
Yeah, $25 here. So you do get a fair amount of value out of it.
Yeah, I think the other packs were similarly priced and they were like $19.95 or $20 here on Steam.
A couple of wheels in the grass there from Matterford. That Aston Martin looking a little beat up now. Still has Suma behind. And still has Salty Rod in front of him. So these three have been bumper to bumper for basically the entirety of this race. Doing really well, these three. A couple of side-by-side battles we've enjoyed watching.
Meanwhile, up front, we just had Philip Bakita absolutely running away with this race. Being in another league as she typically is in these races. Further back, we've got Zachary Smith, just a cool 27.6 seconds back, but look, closing in, Cook and Jones. They're right close to each other and are closing in on Zachary Smith. They're probably not going to close in enough before the end of the race, but if we get 2 laps, we'll probably get 2 laps, so if they gain by a second a lap, you never know.
I reckon barring a mistake, you'll be right, Smithy.
Yeah, I think Cookie's going to hang on here too. He's pace has been really good this whole race.
The Michael Massey motorsport car that Brad Cook is driving. A nice British racing green there.
What we haven't seen. Sorry, you go. You go,
I was
please.
going to say, just on Michael Massey, do we actually know what he's doing these days? After he was
I'm pretty sure they're
partially
still.
removed from his role?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still sorting out a new role for him in the FIA.
Alright, okay.
And we do have news in. Bakita is our pro class champion in split yellow.
Jeez, that is calling it very early with still a lap to go.
Well, I mean, considering the season she's had, I wouldn't be surprised if she already wrapped it up when Houlihan disconnected.
Yeah. I'd say she's had this in the bag for a little while.
Just further down the field, there's going to be a change for the Pro-Am winning this race. As we just look, Salty-Rod will be Pro-Am champion and Warren will be Am champion in this split. So we do have a few declarations of champions, but there's going to be a change for the Pro-Am winner of this race as Siberis has a 10-second penalty. Oh no, we're just on Salty-Rod and
race
around he
control
goes.
Curse. No way. Race control has absolutely cursed him off the road. Oh dear.
Does that change the standings? Oh my goodness.
Please get your abacus out and let us know if that has changed anything, because I was just about to wrap him on what has been a pretty good season from Salty-Rod, and he's had plenty of competition too.
Well, something I'll note is that Bakita has just entered the final lap of this season for Split Yellow. So, sounded like a blue flag crashed in front of Smithy may lose some time, so it's going to be close to the end.
I think that might have been Salty-Rod, just quietly. I think I saw Smithy sneak past him as they went
No, that was Bakita that went past Salty-Rod.
Okay, well, that's right, yeah. That's right.
The gap is 1.3 seconds. It's going to be a big ask, but anything can happen. Well, they were wrong. Nipris will be the Pro-Am champion, so Matt Nipris will most likely not only win this race in the Pro-Am class, but also win the Pro-Am championship, which means in Split Yellow, which means you'd expect him to be promoted into Pro for next season.
Yeah, there'll be a couple that are shuffled around. Bakita's going to get her own bloody class at this point.
I mean, why not?
Her and O'Hara and probably Lucas Burst sneak up there into the, what do you call it, Super Pro class? Super Pro, I don't know. Anyway, here she is, taking in a big bunch of sand on her way around the last corner here. Philippa Bakita, congratulations, Split Yellow champion. Dance across the line here in Kyalami, you are the winner. Nice work. Too good this season, absolutely ridiculous.
What a season Philippa had, and we have got Zachary Smith. I reckon he's going to hold on to this P2 here. He's missed a few races, but overall he's had a fairly good season as the F1 T1 champion. Oh, well, not quite F1 T1 champion, but he has been before. Of course, that title at the moment is with Zachary James, but Smithy comes home P2. Brad Cook in P3, well done from him. Emily Jones P4, Dan Hunter comes home in P5 in the Porsche with Megan D close behind. Matty Pinata coming around final corner now, he'll finish P7, he'll be fairly happy with that result. Carl Jackson P8, we'll have Jaco Boats in P9, and then a little further back we're going to have Siberis on track finish P10, but Nipris will end up finishing P10 and winning the Pro-Am class for this race and this season.
Hey, what, Jacko and Jacko in P8, P9. I have said Jacko and Jacko a couple of times this season. Those two always manage to fit, like, just around each other. That's not a coincidence. Jacko and Jacko. They should do an endurance team. Come to the Spa 12 hour together or something like that. Jacko and Jacko. all the pros up there from P1 to 9, and then a handful of pro-ams from P10 to P15. So that's when you know you've got the classing system just about right. Nice work, Suma. Flashes
Big
across
feed.
the line.
Finishing P14 there. Get ready. We're going to cut to post-race session, and it'll be raining.
It's not
Okay.
raining.
In 10
Apparently
minutes
not.
it is.
That's
Apparently, yeah.
dry.
Never mind.
So, well done, Split Yellow. As we said, well done, Philip Keita. Not even close. Absolutely sensational season from you. Congratulations to Nipris as well. Malt, hello.
G'day.
Hello.
Who's this bloke?
Some bloke. How are you, gents?
We're
Good.
really well in here.
That's
Just
fantastic.
congratulating, as we said, just congratulating Makita on P1 and Mr. Nipris as well. And I think you mentioned who the AM class winner was. Remind us.
Pretty sure it was
Brandon Warren.
Nice work,
Wow,
Brandon.
what about that curse I just did?
That was pretty
Yes.
bad. That was
Sorry,
savage.
salty Rob.
Even when you're not speaking, you somehow curse people.
Yep. Well, speaking of cursing, a lot of us did that last night when we were looking at some liveries in the rookie series. So right now, I'm just going to quickly show some of the dodgy liveries we ran last night in the rookie series. And chat, you are going to vote for the winner. The winner will pick up a copy of the new DLC that's coming tonight. So let's just crack on. They're the 4 cars. They're all vomit worthy, which is exactly what we wanted. So Rob Maddox, Cameron Rule, Matthew Wells, Raphael Chu.
Wow.
They're the 4. So let's just go through them.
So this
Take
is
it.
a pistachio green with a purpley pink mixture happening.
That's
That's
Raphael's
that's
gone with a
basically the
very-
exact same livery.
A
Are
very
we selling
bright
eye
green.
bleach?
Well,
we don't
you're
need some
gonna have
bleach.
to
Just
after
look at that
this.
photo.
He's got the bright blue rims happening as well, just to really accentuate. Now, this one, my first comment on this one last night was if my daughter was wearing pink shorts and she shat herself, that's what it would look like. Matthew Wells, great work from you.
That looks absolutely disgusting.
And this, we gave him big ups before Rob Maddox for how friggin' quick he's been in this Bentley this season, but I would be pretty quick trying to get away from that. That looks horrible.
I think if you're only looking at half of that car, it's probably fine. If you're looking at the other half, that's when you have problems.
I mean, you look at the pink half, you're right, it looks okay, but then it's got that baby vomit green happening
Yeah.
down the other side. Yeah, so there's nice work there from the 4 of them who have done their best work trying to pull out all stops to get your votes. So let's get that poll up and tell us what you reckon. Coloured rims obviously a massive no-no on all occasions, but they've done well here as well.
So there we go. In chat,
Gotta
it'll
be
be
number 4,
based
surely.
on those numbers in the corners of the image. Just click the one you want, press vote. And the voting will end at the conclusion of the split green race coming up in about 5 minutes' time. I'm not
So
going
are
to
these
say
gonna
which one I
be-
think. I'm not going to try and sway anything.
Yeah, try not to bias people, yeah.
I have-
Bender's all over
it's
it.
definitely
He wants
5.
to take the other vote.
5 as in all of them. But there's thank you all to the rookies though for contributing to the vomit worthy scenes that we saw out in Kyalami last night, because there was quite a lot that just missed out.
Yeah, there was a lot of honourable mentions, that's for sure. We had a lot of trouble last night in the stewards booth trying to work out which ones we wanted to put up here. So yeah, spot on. And as I said, a lot of rookies got around the idea. A lot of them came up with some vomit-worthy entries. Now he said this is going to be open till the end of Split Green. Are you going to have these images available for viewing somewhere in the Discord?
Oh, we're leaving this up.
Somewhere
We're
else,
leaving this
potentially.
image up for 90 minutes.
So we're just going to...
You can listen to Green, but you can't
Listen.
can't watch. Yeah,
Well,
I'll
that's
chuck it
gonna
up.
cause
I'll chuck
some
it up in Discord. We might showcase it during. Actually, no, what I'll do.
Chuck it on the social medias.
Yeah,
Matty
once we get a
Powell.
winner, we will, for sure.
Matty
See
Powell
what they
making a really good point there. Obviously, Matt's our rookie administrator, and he's been all over this. He said the shout out to the one Lexus driver who obviously can't change his livery, but he had a crack at it anyway, and he just changed their wheels. So, honourable mention to that one Lexus driver.
Yes, that was a good effort there from the Lexus. Meanwhile, I think that's probably my cue to get going and leave you for split green.
Are you gonna go? You gonna go vote, Alex?
Oh, I've already voted.
And then are you gonna go sign up for next season's Sprint Series?
Oh, of course I am. I'd be stupid not
Yes.
if I didn't.
Good to hear. That's very pleasing news. Thank you very much once again for your contributions, not only tonight but all season long here in Sprint Yellow. We've loved your work, Alex Bowen.
Thank you, Alex.
Bowen, ladies
Thank
and
you.
Joining us, Alex.
Thanks for having me this season. It's been an absolute pleasure watching some of the best races I've seen in my time of watching these ones. But yeah, there's just been some brilliant driving all throughout the season in Split Yellow, and I'm glad that I was able to commentate it.
Thank you, Alex. Nice work. We will see you again, I'm sure. But for now, welcome once again, Ollie Daniel.
Hey, how you going?
We're really well, mate. We are voting on these liveries, so I think everyone's chucked in a vote via now, so we can sort of get away with maybe a little bit of bias. Have you voted?
No, I just logged on and I saw the liveries and I was really concerned that the topic in discussion was best liveries, and I was like, oh, you guys need to go to Specsavers. But I've just seen it's worst liveries, so that's thank God.
The best, worst livery, I guess.
Yep.
So take your time. As
Yep,
Marla
let me
said,
have a look.
This vote will be open until the end of Split Green, so plenty of time. We've got about an hour or so to get your vote in. And as we said, the winner, either Rob Maddox, Cameron Rule, Matthew Wells, or Raphael Chua, will be granted the new DLC, which comes out, I don't know, around about now-ish Australian time. I'm not sure exactly when it comes out. Probably sometime in the next couple of hours.
Hopefully in a couple of hours, yeah.
Hopefully not right about now, thanks Kunos. But yeah, nice little prize there for the winner.
Any word on whether or not these teams have intentionally gone for this prize, or are actually trying to go for a good livery?
They were told to do their worst, I believe.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yeah. And there was plenty of bad ones. I'll give you the tip. As I said, we're only allowed to choose 4 for everyone to vote on, but there was many more that were very much on the cusp. There wasn't... I think we had a handful where we couldn't work out whether they just didn't get the memo or they came in with their normal liveries, or we actually had some where we thought maybe they tried to make bad liveries, but that actually looks pretty good type liveries. Yep. So there was a handful of those. But then, yeah, everyone else just puke-worthy. Absolutely disgusting. So these 4, top of that pile.
I think that Bentley number 39's got my vote.
Green light, go.
Chua. Not great.
Yeah, that's who I voted for as well, just quietly.
50 votes have come in already. I tell you what. Probably one of the most popular polls we've ever done, I would suggest. Here we go. Qualifying opens up. Ooh, that's Bushell having to dive around somewhere there. Not sure who that was coming very slowly out of the pit lane.
And Craig Dale, still no update on whether or not I will be with you in Spa, but you'll be the first to know.
What car would you be taking if indeed you were to participate?
Well, they're going to 2-man it, so the team is still entering. I just don't know if I'll be set up in time. Oh, Craig, can you remind me what we're driving? It's either the... pretty broad here, but it's either the Macca, the Bentley, or it might be the Ferrari. I know we were chatting about the Ferrari, but I sort of opted out because I knew that I might not be there, so I wasn't really going to have a say in which car we were going to drive.
Well, my man Craig Dale, very quick in the McLaren, and McLaren not necessarily weak around Spa by any means, so that'd be a good little thing.
One of my best/worst moments in with Octane Online Racing, my first ever race, or almost 2 years ago or something now, was a rookies race at Spa. I was on the stream. There was a bet going on between the commentators who was going to bin it up Eau Rouge first. And whilst I was on stream, that was me. I actually clipped it.
Oh, no.
So bad. I was half asleep, I think. Like, it'd been a long day, and I just took way too much curb. And absolutely lost it. Hit the barrier, and then I went to go get it started again, and I almost took out someone coming out of the pits. So not my best at all.
Oh, so you hit the barrier on the right-hand side.
Yeah, so I hit the curb, sort of on the inside, did like a big spin. Yeah, came off the barrier on the right, sort of where pit exit is, up past Radion, and then I think I was facing the wall. I went to chuck it in reverse, and there was a car coming out of the pits right behind me, and all the commentators just gasped, but I did see him, and I smashed the brake. Oh, update from Craig, we are in the Ferrari.
It's good that you managed to avoid a dangerous track rejoin, because people around here, these parts,
They don't forget
let you live it down. Yeah, long memories. I'm in the background, I can hear the Paul Ricard clip being queued up.
Good up. Get it on. Nice time to tell you what, speaking of in the background, we've got very nice graphics here. I like this. It's a good way to jump into Discord. We'll have them here for an hour. A chance to vote. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're just sneaking on the stream. I like that.
Let's pin it down to me being switched on and, you know, being safe with the track rejoin, but I don't know about you guys. I always forget and sort of never notice when the car stalls out, and so I'm usually sitting there mashing the pedal wondering why I'm not going anywhere for a couple seconds. We'll call it a safe rejoin.
Oh, Hignett came across at the quickest time, then Duong pipped him by 13 thousandths. Then Senecas comes across half a second quicker than Duong, so pretty quick time there from Senecas straight off the bat. Jacob Weatherburn and the Milk Racing Oak entry. Oak! So, okay, so I'll tell you what that is. That is a story regarding his brother, who in the Singapore round, I want to say, I don't know if it was round 5 or round 6 of the F1 series this season, he was leading the race with about 3 minutes to go, and his second monitor crashed down onto his desk.
Oh no.
But it was rescued. It didn't break or anything. It got held up by an oak, as in a chocolate milk oak. And this oak didn't even bend, didn't even get squashed. It literally, heroically held up his, I don't know, $1,000 second monitor or whatever it was. He also, as I said, was in the lead of a Formula 1 race at the time, so he's managed to hang on to the lead, come home in the win. So his brother just paying a bit of homage to the oak there. Love that from Jacob.
That's a good story.
I remember seeing pictures of that. That was legendary.
Absolutely. We can find it again. I don't know if we can go back and find it, but there's pictures hanging around the Discord. But I was commentating that night, and we couldn't work out why he'd gone from 10 seconds in the lead to 3 seconds. We thought he must have had a spin or something, and this is the lap to go. And, oh, what's happened here? And then, yeah, we find out after the race that it was his heroic managing to catch the second monitor and bring him home. So
When I first got my Fanatec set up, my club sport, I had it all mounted on my old desk, and I was doing a league race. Just before I got my PC, actually, I was on Xbox. And just before the race, I was thinking, oh, you know what, like, it was the first day I had the wheel, and I was like, it's feeling a little bit weak, so I'll dial up the torque for the race. And I got about 10 minutes into the race, and books started flying off the top shelf, hitting me whilst I was racing. I was not in the lead, though.
the time's coming in thick and fast. Now, I'll tell you what, Senecas into the 40s. That's very, very rapid pace. Jacoman and Duong are the current leaders in the championship at the moment. I believe that's still the case. I might be wrong. Tell you what, Hignett outperforming himself a little bit at the moment. He's sort of around about sort of sphere 6 usually. He's up there in P3 at the moment, so the Bentley coming through pretty strong at the moment. Duong here in the Aldi Audi. Got some work to do if he wants to plonk himself up the top where he usually is. Tell you what, Gibbo doing very nicely there in P5 as well in the Nissan. But the gap between P4 and P5 pretty significant. So those top 4 really stamping themselves in this qualifying session at the moment. And then Gibbo leading the rest of the pack there around about 9/10 back from Senekis. So that shows you how quick Senekis and the rest of them are going up there. Duong coming around the final corner now. Let's see what he can do. Does improve. Tell you what, less than a 10th between the top 3 if you don't mind, and then Hignett literally no more than 40 thousandths behind them. It's just crazy close up the top there. Here's Zachary James, the most recent winner of our F1 series, speaking of F1, and he's Cheers OOR livery. That sounds like a goodbye livery, if you ask me. That's how I'm reading that. This is the final race for Zachary James in the Sprint Series, is how I'm reading that. Not sure, haven't got any inside info, just reading that based on his name. This might be O-Gold, the captain's final race here in the Sprint Series. Which is a shame, one of OOR's favourites.
Eyeball saying he had a T300 strapped to a glass desk. That is living on the edge. You are a dangerous man. Oh my god.
Yeah. Hopefully it wasn't... I don't know what a T300 is. I assume it's a sort of a Thrustmaster show. I don't know how much force feedback it's got, but you wouldn't want it to have too much. It'll break the glass table. You kill yourself.
Yeah, it's a cheaper Thrustmaster, but it's more that, you know, glass tables are never that thick, are they? So, how you sort of get that clamped on there properly? Surely you'd be flexing. That's terrifying.
It's living on the edge, isn't it?
Yeah, you dangerous man. Settle down.
Duong flying around the final corner again here. Let's see how he goes this time around. Oh, that's the one.
There you go.
3/10 clear up the top now with a 140.6. Which is only about half a second behind Makita. I think she did a 40 flat in her session. Duong packs it up, goes to the pits, so that's about all he's going to do for the rest of the night. Waiting for everyone else to come across. Senekis also in the pits at the moment, so he's not going to have time for another lap. That's where he'll stay. Jacoman's still out on track at the moment. This is George Fowler, who's already in P6, moves himself up into P5. Doing very nicely in the Lambo tonight, George Fowler. 4/10 clear of the next Pro-Am, so doing very nicely for himself is Mr. George. Mixing it with the pros up there. David Bartlett has come across the line and remains in 5th position. Johan Steenkamp down through the Crocodiles up to Cheetah. Gets it tucked in nicely, little kiss of the sausage, doesn't run wide. Down into the final corner. Like he got that pretty well tucked into. Nice and wide there, doesn't touch the sands. This is a good last sector for Johan. It does improve, but it's only a 10th or so, so he goes up to P11.
Just crossed the line in time to start another lap if he's got the fuel as well.
Here's Gibbo, Chantally's #1 grandson, on his way down to the Crocodiles now. As Bender said, the timer has run its course, so still a handful of cars out on track at the moment, finishing up their final laps. Gibbo missing the sausage there and going a little bit wide, but nothing too sinister. Wouldn't have cost him too much time.
He
Final
just
corner
managed
looked pretty
to
good.
keep it in bounds there. As he crosses the line, doesn't improve.
Ryan's still pretty respectable in this field. This is Johan, as you said, Bender, very well spotted by you. He is having another crack here. A lot of speed down here in the Crocodiles. This is that inside curve, which is interesting. It's another curve that's pretty raised. Oh, that's not too much. Too much cheetah. Too much sausage. There goes that lap. And that'll be it. Nice work, split green. And Nice work, Ryan Duong. Plonks himself up there. He will lead us away with Senecas chasing him down to turn 2, Bender. Turn 2 is where they're going.
Mate, don't do this.
The kink.
I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. It doesn't sound right. You want to say on their way down to turn 1, but it's nothing happens at turn 1, so you got to call it turn 2. It's all about turn 2. It's Crowthorne down there, and that's where all the action kicks off generally before they head their way up through the sweep. And the sweep, that's where it all kicks off. If there's going to be a safety car, it's going to be in turn 3 and 4. But yeah, turn 1. On their way down to turn 1. Here we go. It's a kink. Never mind.
Yeah, it's just not the same.
I agreed, but I as I said, I bow to officialdom, and the track map tells me that turn 2 is turn 1, so turn 1 is now turn 2.
We have to put a hold on this discussion.
Oh, I know
Because
what this is about.
Look at the weather forecast, ladies and gentlemen. In 10 minutes, we have light rain. And in 30 minutes, we have heavy rain.
I could hear the hairs stand up on the back of your neck, and I knew exactly what was coming. And then I looked up and I saw the weather, and I thought, there it is.
There we go, race control, getting on it. Rain is imminent, so I hope everyone's fueled up because you want to run long in this situation. You want to hit at the crossover point for wet tyres. I mean, heavy rain, light rain, you can kind of get away on slicks depending on how it is, but heavy rain, you'll need the wet. So you don't want to be pitting before then, especially if people are getting involved in incidents early on and have to pit for damage, you are going to be way out of position.
I'm getting excited already.
Bender did pop out of the commentary box there for 2 minutes, and I think Jan Tully's all over it. I reckon he went off and did a rain dance.
Jan's on to me as always.
Me and Ollie were chatting about glass tables and whatnot, and Bender just disappeared there for a little while. I think Jan's all over it. He's buggered off. He's done a rain dance. He's come back, and now it's going to piss down in half an hour. Tell you what, aside from the rain, it's actually pretty warm. 20 degrees, 27 degrees track temp, a little bit warmer than what we saw in Split Yellow. So that'll drop suddenly when the rain comes through. That rain in 30 minutes is now plus. It is increasing. It's going to absolutely bucket down.
You'll love to see it. Stick around for the end of this one, folks. It is going to be absolutely brilliant. Chaos and destruction. Sign off for Split Green. You love to see it.
Live, love, laugh.
Very wise. Oh, look at that. Heavy rain in 10 minutes. Okay, so we'll bet light rain before then and then heavy rain in 10 minutes. So you might actually see guys coming in pretty early then to put on the wets.
It'll be an interesting crossover point. There'll be a couple of panicky hands there in the setup table as they prepared themselves on the grid for this formation lap. Hopefully they can drag it out long enough so that they don't have to do 2 pit stops. I'm sure everyone will have that sorted out. But yeah, there'll be some interesting times coming up in about half an hour. Is the rain going to continue, or is it going to stop and force people back on a dries, or is it going to be a case of really super duper hot wets if it dries up, or is it just going to keep pounding down?
I mean, looking at that, okay, so then the plus sign has just gone away. So in 30 minutes it was going to intensify. That's just back to heavy rain. I don't think, even if it stopped raining dead on 30 minutes, it would dry out quick enough. It might do for slicks at the very end, but yeah, I still don't think you'd make the time back up pitting for a second time.
Righto, Ollie Daniel. I called Split Yellow and I couldn't get a safety car out of them. They're too good in Split Yellow. But Split Green, they've got rain on the horizon. They're nervous and they know that Ollie Daniel's in the box. So they're waiting for you to call us down to turn 2 here.
Well, I think it could be a delayed safety car coming into this race with the rain coming very soon. Just about across the start-finish line now. Duong's going to take us away. Can Sonicus take him into turn 1 or turn 2?
Oh, been fucking jumped off the line.
Yeah, not concentrating at all. The McLaren there of Jacoman's right on Duong. All Bentley's looking really close around the outside of Jacoman. And the McLaren there. Oh, we've got contact. Oh, big
points. Not too bad.
That definitely looked like it was going to be a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Anytime some car comes off during the sweep, it's generally drama, but they managed to hang on to it. It's Joe Coleman who was involved. I'm not sure who he got into contact with, but yeah, Seneca's having a terrible start. Not sure whether he just missed the jump. But yeah, he got swamped off the line. He's dropped from I think he started P2 or 3, didn't he? He's back here in P10.
Now it's got a yellow ping bar, so maybe he's had a bit of a lag spike, and that's just cost him at the start, maybe.
Or you've scared him, Bender, and he's flicked his engine already into the rain map.
Could be. Could be. So we've also just seen very quick on it, rain decreasing in 30 minutes to light rain. So there might be some dry running towards the end, but we'll have to just wait and see. I don't think they'll be making 2 stops. Of course, pit window is a thing. It looks like we'll avoid anyone stopping on lap 1.
Based on how much that graphic has changed already, it could still piss down half an hour. I don't know. So, I tell you what, it started raining already. Wow! The track has instantly gone from optimum to fast. The wipers are on. Here comes the moisture. Less than 2 minutes in, if you don't mind. 147.3 from Ryan Duong. That's probably going to stick.
Sonicus wasn't far off at switching his rain, switching the engine to the rain map.
Ah, tasty tea. His Kovac's teammate telling us that he started in 3rd gear. That's not how you do a start.
No.
Peach, come on, mate. He's better than that.
What has he done there? 3rd gear.
How did he manage that? Anyway, here's what it is. Recovery drive. He's very quick, so he'll find his way back through the field, that's for sure. But he's got rain to contend with. He's got O-Gold in front of him. He's got Yoda in front of him. There's plenty of quick drivers up there. I wouldn't envy that position trying to get past those boys. That's someone. That's Jacoman, I think. No, that's Jacoman. He's going along nicely. I tell you what, it's not Jacoman. It's who's got the livery that looks just like him. I can't bloody remember. Anyway, someone's spinning off into the dirt out there. David Barker, that's the one. Who's been moved up to Pro Class just quietly. He has been AM Class all season long, has Mr. Barker, and has been looking bloody silly up there with his red light up there. So glad to see him move up there in Pro. Well deserved. Great start out there in the dirt for Barker. I say good start, I think bad start.
Quite well last week, wasn't he? Been in top 5 or something, maybe even top 3.
100%. Yeah, he's been up there all season long.
Yeah.
He's had a great season, so well-deserved promotion into Diabol's rightly pointing out that Ergold's had a cracking start. But Senecas has got past him, so Senecas really recovering those positions quite quickly. He was, I think, 12th the turn 4 complex, and then he manages to put it back up into P4 within a lap, so that's very quick from Beach. Nice work, great recovery.
So we saw Giacomin set the fastest lap with a 44.4. Based on the current conditions, that might be the fastest lap of the race, with the track now downgrading to greasy. So it depends on what it does in the last 10 or so minutes. Oh, that is an ambitious send.
Oh,
Yo!
He's gone round.
Bang,
Oh.
there is contact. I'm not sure who that was, but had nowhere to go.
I think that was Godfrey who came flying up the inside of Jacob. Jacob did well to keep him going. That is Godfrey, yeah. Jacob obviously had to go wide. He was out there in the sand, but at least he kept going. Godfrey came up well worse out of that, diving up the inside of Barbecue.
It was a good lap, that last lap from Giacomin. Didn't think that they'd be quite pulling a 144 in these conditions. He's got a solid gap of just 4/10 between him and Duong. Doesn't seem to be getting any bigger or smaller. Oh, as I say that, it's just jumped up to 6/10.
Track's damp now as well. It's just took over from greasy.
Yeah.
Look at that, 30 minutes. Rain stopping. So 25 minutes to go. The rain will stop. Wow. This is going to be a spicy race.
It's going to be tricky conditions. Good morning, J-Rob, over there in Europe. Or NA. Can't remember, J-Rob. Let me know, in Europe or NA. Anyway, enjoy your breakfast and enjoy Kyalami in the wet while you have your coffee. A couple diving into the pits there already. The pit window has opened and instantly a lot of cars diving into the pits. So a lot of cars staying out, a lot of cars coming in. So these guys, what do you reckon, Bender? Are they jumping on the wets here?
You'd have to be. You wouldn't be pitting for slicks.
Green and white McLaren just made an overtake into pit entry. He looked like he was looking up the inside. I'm not sure if that's going to be if he was going to get caught speeding into the pits there.
Yeah, I was about to say, this will be an absolute nightmare for the stewards. They'll be having to watch a million cars all at once as the speedos to make sure no one's speeding the pit lane and everyone's pitting virtually on the same lane.
Jean-Pierre getting a little bit sideways there.
The question is, have they gone early for the wet tyres? We haven't seen the pop-up that says wet tyres optimum, have we?
Yeah, I don't think we see that on broadcast though, do we?
Oh, we don't see it on broadcast yet? Okay.
I don't think we see that on broadcast. And you're right though, it is only damp. You can see Page is getting all sorts of crossed up here, but he still looks pretty quick. Obviously after his start, that's a great effort to come from 12th to be leading the race already. But yeah, it's only damp. Damp generally is around about that crossover point where you get, a bit of benefit from the wet tyres. So I'm interested to see what Page does here. He's a very clever man and very quick. Does he come into the pits here?
Oh, he's in the lead, so he's got no one around him. He's not battling, losing time. I'd be inclined to stay out.
He stays out. It's a 9-second gap between him and Meddings, so he's got plenty of clear air.
Meddings looks like he's coming in.
The Hamster stays out as well. Obviously, he's Senekis' Kovac's teammate, so those guys will be in team speak together. They'll be working it out. Yeah, not the only cars that have stayed out. Amanto here as well, still on his original dries. He's got Adriel Sia behind him, who's probably slapped on the wets. No, actually, is this Hamanto on wets? He's already on wets, is Hamanto. If I'm reading that correctly, we are on board with Hamanto, and in the bottom right-hand corner, it says he's already on the wet tyres.
Oh,
Tell you what else.
Wow, so he gambled and started the race on the wets?
That's going to work out for him, because it started raining almost immediately, and I'll tell you what else I can see is that weather icon now has a plus against it again.
Well, yeah, that just means it's intensifying in 10 minutes.
So
30 minutes, it's still cloudy, yeah.
It's gone from monsoonal to dry to maybe wet to probably increasing.
It's just clicked over from light rain to heavy rain right now.
And the track is wet, so now is definitely wet tyres on Hamanto with the big brain strat.
Well, we'll need the timing to update, but we'll figure out how far off the lead he is. That'd be interesting though, if it dries up with 20 odd minutes to go, he pits for the slicks. Gee, that could be very interesting, especially if people try and get to the end, 15 minutes to go on wet tyres and it dries up.
I'd be interested to see how he did on that opening lap on the wets when it was still dry. Or opening couple laps until the track got wet enough.
Yeah, it would have been
it'd be
pretty warm tyres pretty quick.
Replay the start on that one. I imagine he went backwards from wherever he started.
Yeah, but if he didn't, he's done well. Godfrey, 5-second penalty for that spin. Bit unfortunate, just sort of came parked up just after the apex.
Senekis and Bushell, both Kovac's boys, have both pitted now. So they're in the pits. They've said that's enough. Let's get on the wets. And Zachary Baldwin has gone big balls and stayed out.
Surely he's not already on the wets too.
We'll have to see. interested to know, because surely you're not out there on the dries.
JP finally pits, coming out now on the wets, you'd assume. Surely.
So
Great recovery from him.
coming out around.
Oh, Gold coming down into turn 2 there. Looked like
It's
that's
very
very
deep.
deep. So he takes the rainbow South African line out there. Not a lot of grip.
So by staying out, Sonicus has lost about 20 seconds to the leaders. By the looks of it, if not a bit more. Or at least to Juon. He did have that bad start, but yeah, he's it's probably closer to 30 seconds, 25, 30 seconds.
And they did very nicely put some pressure on Hickett going through the clubhouse. Hickett managed to get it done through the S's. Jacobin's going to have to take an outside dive here if he wants to get this done up into the hairpin. Not a lot of grip out there at the best of times. Going with a little reverse switchback type show here, but that's not going to get it done. Hickett hangs on their way down to Crocodile.
So we just had word from the director himself. And Manto pitted at the end of lap 2. So he missed the pit window opening. So that's why he's on wets and still has a mandatory stop to serve. So he started on the slicks and missed the pit window. Oh, that is a massive, massive F in chat.
That's not big brain at all. That's unlucky, Memento.
Well, he's now hoping it turns into a 2-stop race for everyone.
Good dive up the inside there from Jacobin, already beginning to open up that gap. And JC, when the heavy rain comes, your dreams might come true, and turn 1 might actually become a bit of a corner.
Point. Yeah, you wouldn't have to put on the brakes, but you'd certainly have to pay much more attention to it than you normally would.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty easy to drift out wide a little bit on exit. Hence the can't remember who it was watching. It was a JP coming out of the pits, and almost being collected there on pit exit. Sorry.
That's right. Jean-Pierre and Ogold coming down in through the kink. They made it look like a corner, didn't they?
Absolutely. That's what always catches me off guard when racing, is when it starts raining. Corners that you're so used to not being corners are suddenly corners, and you think you can hold it flat and you get a little bit sideways. Now that I think about it, I don't think I've driven this track in heavy wet, so couldn't say whether or not that will become a corner.
I imagine it'd still be mostly flat out. You might have a small lift.
Yeah.
So, it's just a weather update. It won't be getting heavy yet. From Ted Kravitz there. Down the pit lane.
Thanks, Ted. Nah, glad to have him back. Not a huge fan of Ted Kravitz, but glad to have him back, just for the nostalgic value. Glad to have F1's back in our lives. Glad to be looking forward to the weekends again.
Unless you're a McLaren fan.
Unless you're a McLaren fan. Yeah, it's
And if
they'll recover. I'm glad to see Ferrari doing well. I like Charles Leclerc, so I'm glad he's doing well.
And if you're a Kevin Magnussen fan, you are having the time of your life at the moment.
Yo, who's that coming down? Is that Barker? It is. He's just got one down the inside of Steve Camp there. Nice one. Just sort of popped up out of nowhere down into the first Crocodile.
I didn't see him coming at all.
No, just appeared.
It doesn't look like he got that penalty for the pit entry, so whoever was in front of him must have hit that pit limiter too early or just come in a little bit too slow, because he dived up the inside. Looked quite aggressive. Gotta love a pit lane overtake.
Yes, pit lane overtakes are the best overtakes. You don't see them very often.
No.
Juon is here behind Baldwin, who's stayed out. Love to find out what tyres Baldwin's on. That's got to be
He's
slick.
run very wide.
Oh, Duong just got a little messy there on the... He thought he was going to get the run, but didn't quite. He's on the wets.
On the wet. So he started on the wet tyres then. Wow.
Well, unless he did the Hamato, I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
he
Race
started on the
trial
wets.
started on the wets.
Race trial starting, he started on the wets, so this is gonna be amazing.
Right now he's got Duong sweating on him. Jeez, I don't envy that. It's a very fast bully. He's right. He's all over him.
Wonder how much those first few laps took out of Nordwin's tyres. They would not have enjoyed the dry track.
Duong got the run, got in the slipstream, he got on the brakes early. Well, not early, I think Zachary got on him late. And that's the result. So Ryan gets that done. Nice work up into P1, here he goes. Zachary will hopefully just tuck in behind Ryan. Work out exactly where the best line is through this wet track. Ryan clearly got the pace. Fowler all over the back of Hamster here. Hamster's got that Nissan power. So again, when he gets done down here, I'll tell you what though, George is getting a run. He's going to be asked to go around the outside, which we've seen not be the ideal line through there. I'll tell you what, he got the switchback looking nice there through though. Through the little sweeper into barbecue, not quite got enough, but he made it look promising there for a little while.
Did it look good?
Mark Bushell defending well down into turn 2. Still a wet track, still raining at the moment. It's actually really wet, especially for those driver cams. There's plenty of spray happening. So great visibility for anyone using cockpit cam.
Yep. So the rain is decreasing in intensity in 10 minutes time. So it'll be interesting to follow that as we progress through the race. I just can't wait to see how Zach Baldwin's strategy plays out, and Hemanto as well, because he's going to have to stop again.
"73 votes so far for the worst livery. I love that. Everyone getting around it. No die balls. Not everyone uses bonnet cam.
Well, Nissan's gone off there.
Yeah, that was Bushell going pretty wide. So George Fowler says, "Thank you, mother, for the rabbits. I'll have that one."
Here you go. What's worse? Using bonnet cam all the time, or swapping to bonnet cam specifically when it rains?
Using bonnet cam all the time is worse.
No. Surely it's got to be the people that flip-flop. Like, you try and gain an advantage because you think bonnet cam's better. Nah, I think if you...
Ooh.
That is deep from Barker.
Tell you what, he pulls it up though.
I thought he was off there for sure.
He's pulled it up. I tell you what, he's not done either. Johan just gets it back on the way out the barbecue, but I was with you guys. I thought he was going way deep. He was going to end up in the fence. He didn't even go wide. He didn't even end up off track. He pulled it up very nicely, which is saying something for the McLarens. But shit brace, it's done very nicely. But Johan hangs on up through barbecue, round Sunset they go, and he just hangs on to that position. But Barker's sweating on him. But yeah, back to your original point. There's nothing wrong with trying to gain an advantage from some aspect of the game, but if you use bonnet cam 100% of the time, we're not friends.
Oh, well, thanks, JC. It's been nice knowing you, mate.
That's twice I've been kicked off stream. At least once a week.
Here's a question for you. Wheel or no wheel in the cockpit view?
No wheel.
No wheel, I agree.
Yeah, if you drive like this, then you've got... Yeah, that's the one.
There you go. That's the one. That's the view.
That's spot on. If you use the wheel, and you've got a wheel in front of you, the only reason I would understand is because if you're using VR, but then what camera you use doesn't friggin' matter anyway. But if you're looking at this camera angle and you can see a wheel and you've already got a wheel in front of you, then you can see two wheels, is that not just disorientating?
Yeah.
Oh, there's some sausage. So in VR, you would see you change your view in VR? Can you like hang around on the bonnet but still be in VR? Guy Miles is a VR expert. I'm looking for him to come through from
VR
here.
expert, yeah.
He is a VR expert. He absolutely froths his VR, and he's very excited because the F1 2022 game coming next season is touted to have VR for the first time. So he's very, very excited about that.
That would be a game changer.
It would absolutely be a game changer. I don't think it's necessarily confirmed yet. Someone might be able to change me on that, but it's definitely been sort of teased that VR support is coming to F1 2022. Yes, you can change it. So yeah, you can sort of sit up there on the bot cam while you're in VR. Jesus, that is scary. Threaten me with a good time. A little bit wide there from Barker. Hangs onto it. First time we've seen him go off track.
Does anyone out there use chase cam?
Maybe if I'm using a controller and playing Forza.
Oh, I was specifically talking about ACC.
Absolutely not.
Anyone in our rookie series in chat, anyone in our sprint series, if you use chase cam,
send us a message, we'll help you out.
Deep breaths, JC, deep breaths.
no words if you use chase cam.
I'll proudly say that I didn't even know that bonnet cam in ACC gave you an advantage in the wet.
Yeah, there's no spray, and a lot of people use bonnet cam when they come into the pit lane too. They will switch to bonnet cam. It allows you to line up the pit box, the pit board, all that sort of thing much more accurately. And I've actually taken to doing that very recently, only in the last 2 races, as it's been recommended by a lot of people. And it's pretty useful, so I rate it. What cam do you use? Bandicam or bonnet cam? I think it's bonnet cam for Bandicam.
Yeah, I use bonnet cam all the time.
What about you, Ollie?
Nah, just keep it in the cockpit.
So that view is sure, no wheel.
No wheel.
Bit of dashboard.
I don't even have it mapped, and I don't know what the key bindings are on my keyboard, so if it's not mapped to my wheel, I can't change it.
F1 is the answer to your question. But yeah,
I don't care. I won't use it.
So how much dashboard do you got? What do you drive too? Because there's a lot of cars that you drive in that dash view, and you've got all sorts of A-pillar and all sorts of crap out. Whereas there's others that are a bit more clean. What car do you drive?
I mean, been driving a lot of the Macca and the Bentley. I did find when I first got this game, I haven't driven it in a long time, but the BMW, the old one, has quite a. It's got quite a. It's
intrusive dash.
Yeah, it's a weird camera angle. I don't really know how to put it, but it kind of put me off using that car, which is a shame because one of my favorite cars. But yeah, I mean, there's a few like the HUD on the display in the Lamborghini is really good. Consider turn off the rest of your display and gives you all your tires and whatnot. Some cars don't do that, so. Did just get a new monitor though, so I have when I still had my setup set up, I did play around with camera angles a little bit.
Remind me, you moving house or something? Is that why you're not?
Yeah, moving house.
Set up. You getting into the next sprint series?
Still looking for a place. All the stuff's in storage at the moment. Yeah, staying at my partner's. There's no room here for my big desk and setup, so. Got some inspections this Saturday, hoping the goal is to be ready for Spa.
Oh, of course, yes.
That's the goal, especially after our Bathurst series of unfortunate events. That was a nightmare. That's the first special event that we've retired from.
Those who are wondering what we're talking about Spa, if you're watching in chat, we do have the 12-hour special event coming up in April. It's about a month's time, I believe. Get around, it'll be a full weekend of racing. Perhaps we can get the graphic overlay up at some point. Sign-ups are open, yep.
Are we doing similar to what we were doing at Bathurst with, you know, a series of events and races over the weekend?
Yep.
Awesome.
So there'll be full slate of team challenges and fun races. So even if you don't want to take part in the full 12-hour race, more than welcome to get involved in some of the fun, 30, 45 odd minute races that we'll be doing.
Those support races are excellent exposure for rookies who don't feel like they want to step up the sprint series because of all the variable weather and all that sort of stuff, but that's a great way to sort of dip your feet into, wet weather or formation laps, or even competing against sprint series drivers. If you don't feel like jumping into the sprint series, just get into those support races before our 12 hours of Spa. They're a great way to dip your feet in and get exposed. And then you start beating around some of the sprint series drivers, you think, hey, this is not too bad, and then you jump up the sprint series and all of a sudden you're top 10, you're doing well. Very much looking forward to the Spa 12-hour. Peach is racing, so he can't hear me. He hates Spa. But I think he hates every track, does Peach, just quietly. Other than Kyalami, I think he hates most tracks. I don't actually know what tracks he does like. Someone's going to have to come in and tell me what they're... Tux, what bloody track does Peach actually like, aside from Kyalami? Because every time we go somewhere, he's like, I hate this track. I can't remember.
You're not allowed to not like Kyalami.
I don't like Kyalami. You obviously weren't when we spoke about that at the start of Split Yellow.
I missed that.
It is bottom 2 on my list of tracks. And it would be very, very, very bottom by itself if it was raining. So good luck to Split Green here. They're doing pretty nicely. Rain easing shortly. Still raining at the moment, but those clouds are starting to dissipate a little. We'll see it dry up in the next sort of 10 minutes or so.
So we noted earlier that at 25 minutes, the rain will have stopped. The weather forecast is pretty much accurate to the second in this game, not like, I guess, the Formula 1 series or other racing games out there.
Peach loves all doubt.
Wow, yeah.
I know that to be a falsification. Yeah, he doesn't like Spa either. He doesn't like Bathurst.
Doesn't like Bathurst?
I know. He has a respect for Bathurst. He thinks that it's a great track to get right. But just can't get it right very often, so he doesn't like it.
Not liking Spa and Bathurst is quite the combo.
Yeah. But I don't argue with him because he can bench press a house. So I think what he likes.
I do like Kyalami, however, coming into the Crocodiles is probably my worst corner on this game. Always coming in with way too much speed.
Wait, which one?
Is it 13?
This
At
one
the end of the straight?
Ogol coming into Crocodiles now. This is turn 13.
Yeah, this one. Really struggle to get the car slowed down in time. Every single time I approach it, I don't know. I've never been able to master it. Always feels faster than it is. And
Downhill braking zone. Yeah, yep, fair enough.
not too bad in the race, but quali, getting around that corner in good time, I just, really struggle with.
Is there ever a chance we get a mullet Quebec 6 or 12-hour race team? There is. We need to get to the point where we have enough support so that Mull doesn't have to run those events himself, because they are big, very important events. That is Adriel Sia taking a very wide line.
It's not ideal there from
Where is
Sia. He's approaching Cheetah.
Oh, Crocodile. There he is. Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah, yep, spot on from you. Well called, Ollie Daniel. You've cursed him off the road.
Yep, he has done an Ollie Daniels.
But yeah, back to your point, Diabols. We need to get... we would love. We would love Mull to have a track.
Mullet, yeah, the OGs.
But yeah, we've got to get some OOR staff to the point where we can run the show where he can take his hands off the wheel, which obviously we're all looking to do. But yeah, It's so difficult, Bender. Oh my god, the
Yeah.
amount of stuff that bloke does
Oh.
in the background,
Like,
it blows
8
my mind.
arms going on.
It's incredible. He's a friggin' octopus behind the scenes, and so that's what I'm saying. We need a good team to learn all the ropes and bells and whistles and whatnot, so we can get the event running, so that he can participate. That's the goal. That is the aim. Is there ever a chance? Yes, there is. But yeah, it's maybe a little while.
Yeah,
before
the
we
hardest
get that.
part with that would be, obviously, if we're competing in Mullock in a team for, you know, an endurance event, is finding someone else that can broadcast the event, because so many people want to race in them rather than broadcast them, and you can't really broadcast and race at the same time, which is the unfortunate part.
Yeah, I've certainly got my hands up. There's a couple others who have sort of tentatively stuck their hands up for that sort of role as well, but it's difficult. He's back and his ears are burning. We're just talking about, Diabol's posed the question, are we ever going to have a reunion between you and Bender doing a 6 or 12 hour event? Are you and Bender going to make a team and do a 12 hour event? I said, well, at some point, one in the future, yes, but as Bender and I said, there's a lot of work that goes into those events. A lot of work, not just in the broadcast, but everywhere else as well. The fact that you do it by yourself is amazing, but yeah, we're just trying to get a team together who can sort of take that reign a little bit and give us a chance to do that, because that's what we all want to see. That's what chat wants to see. That's what all of the community wants to see. Mull back behind the wheel, having a crack at it. So half an hour down. Ryan Duong out the front. Jacoman right behind him. He's not far away at all. Up the front there. Hignett sort of 7 or so seconds back, but doing very nicely. The Bentley up there in the podium position at the moment. Peach, after his poor start, starting in 3rd gear to Peanut. He's up there in P4. Zachary Baldwin doing the, well, I wouldn't say Bender strat. It's whoa, that's a lot of, who can see through that? His blinkers, his bloody wipers aren't on, Bryce. Bryce, put your wipers on. What's going on there?
That's got to be bonnet cam.
Man, that's exactly what it would be. All right.
But even then, I use bonnet cam. I think my wipers are just set to like
Automatic,
lights
yeah.
and everything else automatic by default.
That looks odd. That was scary. But yeah, that's exactly. It's probably in body cam. Spot on. So is Zachary Baldwin up there in P5, hasn't pitted yet. Started on the wet tyres. Very risky strategy, but it did start raining very quickly, so it was a great call in the end. So doing very nicely for himself up there in P5. Followed around by another Zachary in what is potentially his last Sprint Series race. Zachary James up there in P6 with David Bartlett behind him with a 5-second penalty. Harding, Gibbons and Weatherburn round out the top 10. We're on board with Bryce Meddings at the moment, with his wipers not on as he goes all the way down through turn 1. Heavy on the brakes in turn 2. He's got barbecue buns behind him. Mike Reel in that distinctive orange livery. Holding the purple lap as Bender so right 7-4. Unlucky to see that beaten unless it really dries out in the next half an hour. The track temperature hasn't dropped anywhere near as much as I thought it would once this rain came through. It started at 27, it's only down to 25 now. I thought the rain might cool it off a little bit more.
Yeah, I thought it might as well, but yes, it was kind of already overcast, cloudy conditions anyway, so it wasn't really going to change much.
Here you go, Chad. There was bonnet cam, and now you've got dash cam. Yeah, much better than the wipers happening. But still, visibility, especially when he's right behind another car. He's sort of only half a second behind Jacob Weatherburn here, and he's throwing up a fair bit of splash. Not too shabby, especially now that the rain has decreased. The visibility not too bad. It certainly would have been worse in the first sort of 20 minutes or so when the rain was heavy. But you could see via bonnet cam as we went up to the hairpin there, there's not a lot of troubles at all in terms of what you can see. So bonnet cam definitely superior in the wet.
Al is braking a lot later. then with a burn ahead. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make this work around the outside. No, he doesn't. Is he going to get the switchback? No. He's not going to have a look up the inside there. But he did break a lot later into Crocodiles on the lap before.
Yeah, Lambo's got good anchors. McLaren crap in terms of braking power. So even in the best of conditions, George likely to get on the brakes a little bit later, a little bit deeper than Jacob. He's going to be a bit more controlled, trail bake his way into the corner. Tell you what, George has a bit of a run here. I think he's going to have a crack at him up the S's, and he does. That's brave, especially in the wet. Nicely done, George Fowler. Jacob not overcommitting to the defense there. He knew that he probably not quite got the exit he wanted out of Clubhouse. George moved his way up the inside just ever so gently and got it done very nicely through the S's. So nice work, Mr. Fowler. Moves his way into the top 10. Here's Denny Lynn in this very pleasing livery. We've discussed this already in the season. This is just such a nice livery. Why it doesn't serve.
So here's a... Sorry, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to talk about the livery. No, you go. You tell me. What's up?
I was going to ask, rather random, but what do we think would be more annoying or off-putting? Having one central windscreen wiper or having two offset windscreen wipers?
Ooh.
As the rain has
Yeah.
just stopped.
Good question. I don't know what would be more annoying.
I think two wipers would feel more natural just because that's what, you know, having road cars and stuff, what we're used to.
When you say offset, though, are they oddly placed, I guess is what you're trying to
Oh no,
say?
just like
hanging
off
from the top.
off from centre. So you got like the one central wiper, like we can see here on the Aston, or you have the two, I guess, more normal road car placed wipers that we saw on, I can't remember what car it was a few moments ago.
Yeah, I agree with Ollie. I think my preference would probably be the two wipers just because it's more common. It would feel more natural. You feel like you're getting more wipes per second as opposed to the one wiper having to come all the way across.
More wipes per second, yep.
Wipes per second. That's not a toilet joke. We're still discussing windscreen wipers. There they are again. Rob Maddox, Cameron Rule, Matthew Wells, Raphael Chua. They are competing for your, I was going to say love. There's not a lot of love for these. They are hideous. They are. Every single one of those makes my eyes hurt. 80 votes so far in the poll. That's excellent work from you in chat. The rookies can't be asking for any more love and or hatred. I'm not sure.
Come in with a controversial opinion. I don't hate Wells's beamer there.
Don't hate. Right, that got my vote. That actually got my vote as the worst.
I don't hate it. Like, it's bad, but it doesn't make my eyes hurt. Probably same with Maddox's Bentley. The other two, if I could vote two off, it would be Rule and Chua, but Chua got my vote.
How? It's got diarrhea yellow rims. It's got bright. It's not even a nice pink rear with like a yellow thin wing and this rotten sort of decaying brown up the front. That gets my tick. Matthew Wells, nice work from you.
I'd call it Picasso. It's abstract.
So here you go, here's some useless trivia for the night. The two slightly off-centered windscreen wipers can move at a speed of 60 wipes per minute through a range of 110 degrees.
Where did you find that?
He's the facts man, Ollie Daniel.
Ollie, you'll learn, mate. When you're in the box here with me, you'll hear some many wonderful life-changing facts.
Light changing might be a little bit of a stretch, but they're certainly enlightening, and we love them. Oh, Memento's in the pits. Seneca's in the pits. Baldwin now in the pits too, coming off his original wet tyres. Here we go. Here comes some pit stops with 19 minutes to go. So the rain has stopped, even though Bartlett's still got his wipers on here. The rain has stopped. The track is still damp, but there's still plenty of wet patches. You can see the spray being kicked up there from Zachary James up front. So there are still plenty of wet patches to navigate, but the rain has stopped and there are pit stops occurring.
You're gonna switch to the slicks now. You got to be pretty confident you can stay on that line.
I think if you're going to switch, you've got to do it now. To maximise the amount of time you'll have on slick tyres to make up the time lost for an extra pit stop. If you pit with 10 minutes to go, you've missed out, I reckon. Unless everyone then pits.
So is someone gonna have a spin in the next few laps on the slick tyre then?
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple. We've already seen drivers struggling on wet tyres. So yeah, once they get on slicks, there goes Denny Lynn a little bit wide there. Tell you what else you're going to start seeing really quickly is when they're not going through the corners, they're going to be hunting for those wet patches. Their tyres will be cooking now. They're really starting to heat up. So when they're not navigating corners, when they're going down the straights, they'll be out there looking for those wet patches, trying to cool them down. Great little battle here between Bushell, who's chasing down Real. Not far behind Wedderburn and Meddings as well. All sort of tucked away within a second of each other.
So doing sneakers out in P15.
Yep, and it has gone on to the slicks. So that's very wide there. I think that's Fowler. He's obviously had a date with the sausage. Denny Lynn's going to have a crack at him here too. Although he got pretty wide there, he got across the... Oh, he nearly got in the base. He definitely got the run. And he actually oversped a little bit. Nearly got into the back of... It's not Fowler. I thought it was Fowler. It's actually Meddings who's dropped back here in the P12. My apologies, George Fowler. Driving very nicely up there in the Pro-Am lead at the moment. P8 overall. Real versus Hamster is the Pro-Am Championship. That's Real versus Bushell. So P10 versus P11 here at the moment. Winner takes all for the Pro-Am Championship. Thank you very much, Michael Babb, Gorilla Snap, and letting us know about that one. Obviously, our race control director all over it already, because that's where we've been watching for a little while as they come together there. Bushell up the inside of Real. Real leaving the door slightly ajar, but obviously in the wet, there's still a bit of contact between the two of them, so they must have heard that the battle was on. Straight into it they go, swords out.
So Luca Giacomo has just pit from second. He was about 8 tenths behind Ryan Duong in their battle for the lead. So that'll be one to watch if Duong is up pitting.
Oh, look at them. I thought they were 3 wide. That camera angle deceived me a little bit.
I think John will have to pit, won't he? I mean, 16 minutes in these conditions, surely going to be stretching those wet tyres.
The tyres will last. They won't pop. They'll certainly drop off in performance, but the track's still damp, so it's not like they'll drop off significantly. As Bender said, there will be some who really have to make up a lot of time. So Jacoman, one of those now. Keep an eye on that fastest lap too. See if we break a new fastest lap, that's when you know the pace is there. Jean-Pierre getting a little bit squirrely coming out of the last corner there on his dries. That looks to be a very quick replay of Jean-Pierre coming out of the last corner. Weatherburn now. Oh, no, Bushell, no mark, no Hamster. There goes Mike Real. He waves as he goes past. He says, thank you very much. takes the lead in the Pro-Am Championship. Mike Reel. Bushell doing well to hold that spin, really. Could have been much worse, facing the wrong way. Managed to keep it sort of sideways, so he lost a couple of positions. But it's not over yet with 15 minutes to go. These conditions are treacherous. So Mike Reel knows that he's got it in the palm of his hands now. It's his to lose. The added pressure, does it get to him or does he hang on? He's a race winner this season. So he's been there before. He knows what that pressure feels like. But here in these wet, slippery conditions, still damp. 15 minutes to go. Pro-Am Championship on the line. Into the pits he comes. Wowee. All right.
Wow.
So, having just taken the lead of the Pro-Am Championship and knowing that he's well clear of Mark Bushell,
It's big.
Mark Bushell now gets a chance to make a decision. You would suggest he's going to stay out there. He's going to take track position back. And he is. He's going to see if he can hang on now. Hello. Spice.
Yeah, that track still looks... Oh, Bushell's gone straight on there. He's just got the wall too. That's not good. I was going to say, it still looks very wet, even though it is, you know, slightly sunny conditions now. You can see Sneakers is back on the slicks. I think he was the first to pit to go back onto the slicks. Shows you how much time he lost out earlier in the race. Giacomin there's P7. He was battling with Ryan Juong and he's pit.
Woo! That was close. Jacob Wedderburn, Mike Reel have come out of the pits here, and that is Zachary Baldwin, who slots in between them. Obviously, Zachary's the one who came off the wet tyres. Ooh, Mike Reel up the inside. Hello. Switchback gets done by Zachary Baldwin. Did we?
Sure. Yeah. Who's car 219?
Jacob Wedderburn.
Burn.
Yeah. Did we see that he had a stop and go 30 for speeding in the pit lane from like his personal camera? Is that, yeah? Okay. Thought we did. So
Is that the one that we were talking the pit lane overtake earlier?
no, this was just a moment ago as he was coming out.
Yep,
So he's
so
had 10 seconds added to his time there.
I didn't see the stop go. That's naughty, Jacob Wedderburn. Come on.
Naughty, naughty. That Audi does look good. I've said it once before and I will say it again.
You
That's
have.
probably-
You're a big fan of this, aren't you?
I love it. I think it looks awesome. It's like just not like I like to think I'm pretty good with liveries and I play around with them, but that's not something I'd have thought of, and it works really well.
So we'll say on put here. So last lap was a 47.4 for Juong. He's on the wet tyres still. And we've just seen in chat, Sneakers is on the slicks. Last lap was a 48.7. So at this point, the wets are still faster. There's 10 minutes to go.
Surely not for much longer, no. Like the sun, as you said, the sun is out. There is a really dry line forming. The track's already gone to greasy. The wet tyres are going to really start flaming up now. There is no wet patches left to cool those down.
Well, if we can go back on board with Giacomin so we can see his last lap. Because he was battling with Ryan Juong for the lead and he pitted for the slicks about 18 minutes left in the race. So he did a 47.2. He was only 2/10 faster than Juong last lap. So he's really not gained that much time by pitting his
Is that because he's battling with George Fowler here, though? Might be a little quicker than George. George defending nicely, as he's entitled to do down the inside here. Giacomin asked to go around the outside. He's on the dry line, so he'll get some traction. He will get that done. But that might be why his times aren't quite where we expect them to be. He's been trying to get past George Fowler. Now that he's got that done, he's got a little bit of a gap up there to Gibbo.
He did that, and it was a 46.5 last lap. So 46.5 and then 47.2 the lap before that. So he's gaining marginally, but at that's still a lot to ask when the pit stop is probably, what, the best part of a minute when you're changing tyres? So, Juan coming, no, cut away, that's all right. Yeah, so it's still lapping in the mid 47s there, or low 47s for Geelong. I reckon if he can keep up that pace, he'll be fine, because he's got a sizable gap. These guys are kind of
Ben Higgins doing 45, so he's got to figure out what he's doing. 37 at the moment. Under more pressure for Bowen. I think Page's about 18, so he'll chase down George Fowler. Mark Bushell after a couple of spins there. P9, so he's looks to be about 35 seconds clear of Mike Reel, who we saw dive in the pits after he took the lead in the Pro-Am Championship. And Mark Bushell, hang on. Johan, put a bit more pressure on Bryce Meadows here and get him moved up. Pretty clean through the S's there. No corrections on the steering apparatus as they come up to just close the wheel left and right as if to prove me wrong.
close.
He's listening to you.
Yes, apparently. Very close to Bryce Meadows there, up in the hairpin. Down to the Crocodiles. Crocodiles plural, by the way. I always thought it was the Crocodile. Two Crocodile, whatever. Crocodiles have 13, 14.
Two corners.
Learned something new every day. What else I learned today? It's very sad. It's Ash Barty retired. I know
Yeah.
we've all heard that news by now, but what a friggin' shock that was.
Be
Yeah.
interested to see what she's going to do next. I assumed it was because of an injury or anything, or something, but it looks like it's not. She just wants to pursue something else.
And all the power to her, you know. How old is
Definitely.
she? 26, 27?
She's
25.
25.
25. Yeah, well, there you go.
And yeah,
25.
really, she's gone out on top, and all power to her. But I still felt I was listening to Andy Marr talk about it on SEN today, and he said it pretty well. In that I feel selfishly sad about it because she's our best tennis player. She's the reason anyone's watching tennis at the moment. We don't watch for Kyrgios or anyone else really at the moment. She's a great example of what we want from Australian sportsman. Ben Higman having a little look down the outside here of Fowler. Not quite. Fowler's defended well at night, just quietly. He puts himself on the inside there and holds off him for another lap. But yeah, I want to, and I do, and I'm very happy for her to do whatever the bloody hell she likes. She made enough money. She's won the tournament she wanted. She wanted to win Wimbledon as a kid. She did that. But I selfishly feel like we've lost a really big part of Australian sport. I'm not going to watch tennis anymore, so yeah, I feel a bit sad about it.
Great move by Hickman. Around the outside into Sunset there. Yeah, I mean, it is, you know, from the sporting perspective, sad, but let's be real, at the same time, if we were all 25 and we were a multi-millionaire, pretty sure we'd all just fuck off into the distance, you know, live on some tropical island, drink cocktails at 5 every day, you know. That's what I'd be doing.
Shit, I'm down. Hignet's flying. Tell you what, around the outside of Gibbo here. What tyres has he got on? Goodness gracious. So we were talking about, you know, Jacoman doing 46s and Page doing 47s. He was doing 45s at that time. And he's just done 2 overtakes in the space of 4 corners. He's flying. He's got the fastest lap. I know the Bentley's pretty strong here, but that is ridiculous pace at this time of the race. Track's come up to fast now. He is hammering along. He's got 5 minutes to go. He's going to chase down Harding and put some pressure on him. I'll tell you what, 3 McLarens up there in the top 4. Not a very strong car here by any means. So those guys, McLaren pretty strong in the wet. They got that pace from there's Fowler all over the back of Gibbo here. Jacoban now doing quick laps, 42.9. The purple lap changing hands a couple of times over the last couple of laps. George Fowler, he's been defending very well down here in turn 2 all night. Now he gets the chance to attack. Gets one done on Gibbo there pretty comfortably. Gibbo losing a little bit of pace in the last couple of laps, look at it, which is unfortunate. Another one who's had a very good season, but losing out to George Fowler there. As Peach pinches the purple lap.
Bit wide there for Duong.
Yeah, a little wide, but he's still 2/3 of a lap ahead with 4 minutes 40 to go. He's got it in the bag, barring a catastrophic mistake.
Speaking of in the bag, Race Control will let us know if he's got the Split Green Championship in the bag. I believe he's currently out the front at the moment.
He's heading towards turn 1. We got Zach James here, heading down mine shaft. He's probably 30 odd seconds behind on track. Oh, what is
Oh, okay. So that's Chikoman going down the inside of Zachary James, and I think he had every right to do so, and Zachary sort of just moved across on him a little bit. They continue this battle down in the cheetah. Please don't go too wide through there. They don't. Chikoman gets it done.
I mean, you're, in the words of Fernando, you always have to leave it to space, and
leave a lot of space there.
There was not a lot of space there from Zach James. I imagine G. Coleman would be on the radio about that one.
But managed to get the move done regardless, so moves his way up to P2. Ben Hignett is flying. He's got that move done on Harding already off screen and now has put in another purple lap. Tell you what, with 3 minutes to go, you wouldn't put it out of his... He's got 4 seconds to catch up to Zach James. Can he get that done and pinch a podium, Ben Hignett? If things remain the way they are, Duong will win the Pro Class Championship in Split Green. It's been an excellent season from him. He's been challenged all season long by Chikoman, but Chikoman's picked up a few penalties and a few issues along the way. Duong has stayed consistent, so that is why he will be our champion, barring any sort of calamity in the next 3 minutes. Ben Hignett, man on screen, absolutely flying along here in Kyalami tonight, doing very nicely, especially in the last 20 minutes. And as far as I can tell, it will be Mark Bushell who pinches the Pro-Am Championship from Mike Reel. Those two separated by 3 positions and a handful of seconds at the moment. Look at the pace Ben Hignett's got.
I
said he was 4 James. Yes, it is. He was 4 seconds behind at the start of this lap. Now he's overtaking him in the hairpin. What the hell?
Zach James got to be on wet tyres. Yeah, I mean, for me, if you're on wet tyres, you know the guys, Giacomin's on slicks, Hignett's on slicks. You can't be defending like that, I think.
Well, if his team name's anything to go by, it's his last race in the Sprint Series, so maybe just thinks he'll get his elbows out and make a fist of it, which is fair enough. He hasn't done anything too untoward. The stewards might give him a little slack for that one at Chikoman.
Another fastest lap for Chikoman there, 142.
Hignett goes right back at him, bang, 42 flat. On a fast track, not even optimum, that's very quick. Still trying to get past Bryce here. He was 2 seconds behind him about half a lap ago, and now he's right up behind him. So, again, all sorts of pressure. They get up here in the hairpin. It looks like he gets very close to him. Just to stay out of the back of him. Just a couple of laps to go now.
Apparently the hamsters rear tyres at 40 psi.
That's hot.
Duong lapping 6 seconds a lap slower.
He's half a lap ahead. It's fine.
Yeah, I know, but that's...
Yeah, but Bushell in the same situation. Is he clear of Reel? Yeah, he's 16 seconds clear of Reel, so he's another one who should hang on. He's 21 seconds clear of Reel. Where's this? Up in the hairpin, yeah. Nice work, Peach.
Those wets will be slick soon.
To the blue flag cut. I thought that was a good move. Actually, it was a good move. You know what? It was a good move. Great move. Up the inside. Who's winning AM class this season, Bender? What do you reckon?
Oh, look, I reckon there's a good chance it might be Mr. Lachlan Harkin.
been very consistent up there in P1 most of the season. As Lachlan Parker.
Well, I mean, we don't talk about it much, but tonight he's definitely won the AM Class Grand Slam.
We don't talk about it much, do we?
You know, qualified on pole position for the AM Class, led every lap, fastest lap for the AM Class, and got the win. Goes down in the OR history books.
This will be it. This is the last lap. Ryan Duong letting a few cars go there on his 40 PSI super duper super oven cooked tyres, but he's going to bring him home, I would suggest. As we said before, very classy, very consistent season once again.
So I don't mind Giacomo. He rolled the dice. He pitted when it was pretty much as soon as he could for the slicks, and there just wasn't enough time left in the race. 27 seconds to gap.
Nice work, Ryan.
Across the line, and it spins.
Spins it across the line. That'll be even more cookage of those tyres. Nice work. Split green champion in season 7? Season 8. Season 8. Jacoban has, as I said, battled him all season long and comes home in P2 here. So good to see those guys come home in 1 and 2. It's been very quick. Ignat managed to pinch a podium here. That's a great result at the end and the fastest lap as well. So a big bag of points.
41.9.
Zachary James in the finale. Cheers, OOR livery. Comes across in P4 today. Nice work from him, and Peach after a sloppy start gets it done in P5. Tyler Harding looks like he's going to hang on here. George Fowler putting a bit of pressure on him in the last corner, but not quite getting it there. So 6 and 7 for those guys. Gibbo's going to come home in P8. Pretty solid race from him. David Bartlett going very nicely up there in P9, and Mark Bushell will come across the line eventually in overall P10. Pro-Am P2 for tonight, but Pro-Am champion this season, Mark Bushell. What a year he's had. He's come out of nowhere, really. Very humble.
Got to feel for real there with the decision to pit, especially after having that lead when Bushell went off track.
Yoda in P11, but he's got a 10-second penalty, so he'll probably drop down to P12, which puts Mike Reel in P11 right behind Bushell. Whoa, there's a lot of dodgy cars happening down there. Was that car flying?
Looked like it.
Yeah, Weatherburn down to 12. So Bushell and Reel finishing 10th and 11th, and therefore 1 and 2 in the Pro-Am class. That makes me happy seeing those two next to each other after their battle this season, as was the battle between Duong and Jacoban up there. So they finished 1 and 2 in Pro class this season. Hignett grabbing P3 tonight. In the Pro-Am class, as we discussed, George Fowler grabbing the win tonight, but Mark Bushell is your champion this season, with Mike Reel coming home P3 behind him. And with the Grand Slam of all Grand Slams, every single round this season, Mr. Lachlan Parker, nice work in the Honda, and dragging that across the line for the final time here tonight.
Was he the only AM in Split Green?
I'm pretty sure he was the only AM Split Green all season long. He got the Grand Slam of all Grand Slams.
It's the perfect clean sweep season then.
Oh, okay. We're getting told that Mr. Barker was an AM class at some point, but he got promoted to Pro. Fair enough. That's exactly right. Yeah, we talked about it at the start, didn't we? So, got the Grand Slam tonight, but Barker, I think, might have pinched a couple of Grand Slams earlier on. So,
it's all everyone really cares about.
The moment we've all been waiting for.
The results of the poll.
It's going to be Wells. I know I'm... Even though I don't mind it, it's Wells.
Over 100 votes. Great work. OOR, chat, YouTube, lads, LAN. Very excellent.
It's not Wells, it's Rule.
It is.
There you go.
A pistachio green lavender. Pistachio and lavender. Ugh. Just threw up on my mouth a little bit, getting those tastes going. Do you eat lavender? You don't eat lavender, you smell it. Do you put lavender in any cooking? Do you add it to anything to sort of Is there any lavender flavored icy poles or something happening? No, it's not. There's not, is it?
No,
I think you can do
don't
like
think so.
roasts with lavender
Yeah,
and
you can do,
teas
like-
as well.
Yeah, you could do roasts. Yeah, if you want to season stuff with lavender, rosemary, that sort of thing. But yeah, you wouldn't eat it directly.
And pistachio as well. So pistachio and lavender. I'm gonna go crunch them up, put them in a tea or something. Nice work, Cam Rule. You win the, I don't even know what we're calling it, the best worst livery. You've got
Yep.
the
Sounds like a good name
next
to me.
the next iteration of ACC downloadable content heading your way. That comes with a selection of cars. So nice work to you, Cam Rule. And thank you again to everyone in chat for getting around the votes tonight. 103 votes total, if you don't mind. Nice work. The winner of the Fugly livery competition. Fugly. Nice one.
And just speaking of the DLC quickly, does anyone in chat know if or when a time it's coming out tonight? Or are we still waiting for the announcement and the launch of it?
Yeah, I personally don't have any idea. I checked in the Steam store before. There's nothing about it in there. So
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at now. I can't see anything on it.
But while we wait for that to come through, we will probably sign off for tonight. Thank you very much, chat. Once again, MVP from you, Diaboles, Mac Daddy, been here all night. Raphael, Giantelli, once again, of course, Skrilla Snapper, everyone else involved. Nice work, Ollie Daniel, again from you tonight, mate. Very pleasing commentating with you. Love your work.
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise.
Mr. David Factual Bender McNulty, thank you once again for your efforts.
No worries. Thanks, JC. Thanks, everyone. We'll
Stewards,
be
of course.
back soon.
And thank you, JC, for your fantastic work this season, sir. Absolute stellar.
Hey.
Yes.
I'll be back next season. I love this gig. I love chat. That's what I'm here for.
I wasn't saying goodbye. I was saying thanks.
I'm saying goodbye. Catch you later. See
No,
ya.
I'm not going anywhere. Also, thank you, stewards. Fantastic work again. MVPs from everyone in OOR. Much love. And thank you, chat.
Yep.
We're going to sign off.
Stewards. Love your chat. And
Until
thank you,
next
Mo,
season.
obviously, for your broadcast
Good night.
behind the wheel. Great work from you. See everyone for Split Blue and Split Red tomorrow.
All right.
We gon' break up, then we make up. Act like we're gonna be friends. Blaze the fire, take me higher. Leave it all over again, all over again.